But the traditional luck of the Irish has deserted Lou Holtz in his first season. Facing the toughest schedule in the nation, the Irish have been anything but lucky. Take the opener against Michigan. The rebuild offense and defense played the favorites off their feet. And with time running out, they were in position for a stunning upset. Instead, they had a one-point loss. Then in week number 5, with a 1-3 record, Notre Dame had the chance for another last-minute win, this time against Pittsburgh. Trailing 10-9, the offense did its job, but the field goal kicking failed again, and the Irish were 1-4. Then last week against Penn State, Notre Dame, with a superb game plan, outplayed the Nittany Lions. And with another chance for a major upset, they saw it slip through their fingers, and they could only wonder what might have been. Maybe the Leprechaun has moved to Baton Rouge. Bill Arnsparger had to replace his entire offensive backfield, and those replacements have won at least a share of the SEC title. It started when the Tigers opened against heavily favored Texas A&M and pounded the Aggies 35-17. But the brightest moment of the year came in Birmingham when LSU knocked off Alabama 14-10 on this Wendell Davis TD catch. And now LSU stands where no one thought they would, on top of the Southeastern Conference.
Welcome to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where tonight the weather is nice. But for how long? It's 70 degrees, winds are out of the south at 8 miles per hour, and yes, there's a 40% possibility of rain. The LSU Tiger faithful believe this is a very big game. How big? Even though LSU beat Alabama head-to-head a couple of weeks ago and clinched a share of the title last week, they feel they must win this game against Notre Dame to virtually assure themselves a Sugar Bowl bid. For Notre Dame, they're not out of the bowl hunt. They believe they can go to the Aloha Bowl with a victory tonight and next week against USC on the road. How about that, Mike Patrick and Pat McAnally, for a good one tonight?
Jim, you know, it really is amazing that at 4-5, Notre Dame is still in the bowl picture, and I think all the credit has to go to Lou Holtz, who's gone a long way in bringing the magic back to Notre Dame.
Well, I think you're right, Mike, but they're still in a transitional period. You know, they've taken on some of the big boys this year, but they haven't been able to beat them. But philosophically and practically, I think Lou Holtz has succeeded. First of all, he's brought an energy back to this program. The players are excited. The fans are pumped up. They see a future. And practically speaking, he's using the personnel he inherited very well. Steve Berline and Tim Brown in particular. Now, Berline's playing quarterback better than he has at any point in his career. Fewer interceptions, much more consistent. And Tim Brown, he's getting the ball in his hands. That's what Lou Holtz needs to do. Whether it's returning kicks, catching passes, or running the ball, Tim Brown's one of the most exciting players in the country.
Now, for LSU, everybody talks about Bill Arnsparger's defensive genius, but he's done a great job on offense this year.
Well, they had to rebuild the entire offensive backfield, and they've done it well. Tom Hotson's come in as a freshman and played very well, exceptionally well as a quarterback. Very consistent, makes very few errors, and he gets the ball in the right hands, particularly Wendell Davis, who's second in the country in receiving. And Sammy Martin and Harvey Williams have done a good job giving him a running game.
How about defense?
Well, there's a dilemma facing the two defensive coordinators tonight. If they expend too much energy trying to stop Wendell Davis and Tim Brown, then they may get burnt by the other receivers, Milt Jackson and Raji McGee. It should be exciting.
Sure should. We've got LSU and Notre Dame, a lot of bowl possibilities still up on the air and on the line tonight. And it's all coming up, LSU and Notre Dame on ESPN.
Live CFA football on ESPN is brought to you by Michelob Light. Super premium taste in a less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all? By the U.S. Armed Forces. it's a great place to start. By IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers. And by Canon cameras, so advanced they make the tough shot simple.
Who says you can't have 100% imported hops and a less filling beer? Old world aging and a less filling beer. Smooth super premium taste and a less filling beer. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
We're not a company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge. We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop, to perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach. We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Just when you think everything's under control, someone else thinks it isn't. If only you could rewrite as easily as the boss did. Change words. Correct your spelling. Make room for new ideas and numbers. And best of all, do it quickly. If only you had a personal computer and display-right software from IBM.
I've always been afraid of two things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots. And now you can get a $25 rebate. Great shots at a great price. Nothing to fear.
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh. Now get a rebate up to $25 from Canon. Details at participating dealers.
Welcome back to the place they call Death Valley, Tiger Stadium, LSU, and Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish believe they have a player that is the most versatile in modern-day college football. It's hard to blame them. His man is Timmy Brown.
Well, Tim Brown's a great athlete. He's been showing it for the past 3 years now. He's really come into his own, especially the last 4 weeks, and he's doing it in all different ways. He's running the ball to the backfield. He's catching passes, doing it on kickoff returns. Any way we can get the ball to him, we like to get the ball to Timmy Brown because when he touches the ball, good things tend to happen.
Berline is not the only one happy in Timmy Brown. Irish coach Lou Holtz thinks he has one of the best in the country, and that comparisons simply can't be made.
Number one, I don't compare an athlete with another athlete. I think that's totally unfair. On the third day of spring practice, when we arrived here, I said Timmy Brown was one of the great athletes that I've been associated with. And I don't say that because I can evaluate talent. I say that because he just stood out in so many different areas. And I think that his performance this past year has certainly proven that he is truly one of the great ones.
Well, you know, everything I do out in the field comes natural to me. You know, when people talk to me about my versatility, I really don't know what they're talking about, really, because, you know, the things I do out there just come so natural for me that I really don't think about it. So, you know, I just go out to play football and to have fun, and, you know, whatever I do, I do.
There's no doubt that Tim has great talent and is quite versatile, but Holt says it's the little things that impress him the most.
Last week against Penn State in a critical situation, Ray Dumas, a split end, caught a pass, was being pursued by a very fine defensive football player from Penn State, and Timmy Brown put one of the finest blocks on him I have seen. It's things like this that makes Timmy Brown exceptional.
I really want to be a good blocker. You know, I think, you know, I pretty much mastered the other things for catching and doing all that stuff. So, you know, I just work on my blocking now because, you know, maybe one of my blocks can spring one of the tailbacks or one of the other wide receivers, you know, for a long run.
LSU head coach Bill Arnsparger fears Brown's versatility.
I tell you, he's been impressive in everything that we've seen. The kickoff returns, that were coming out of the backfield, catching the ball as a wide receiver. And I'm sure somewhere along the line he's probably caught a punt that we haven't seen. And I'm not so sure he maybe hadn't lined up at quarterback. I tell you, he just does everything.
We say that we would like to get the ball to Timmy Brown, but during the preparation as well as the football game, we don't go overboard to try to force the ball to Timmy Brown. We are aware of where Timmy Brown is in each and every formation. We're also aware of what coverages they may give and who the primary receiver may be. But we do not have any pass patterns or anything else that get the ball to Timmy Brown. You just sort of let Timmy Brown happen.
Over good, Mark. Straight up in there. That's it. Great job there. Bring ball, bring ball.
There is Tim Brown, and you'll see him returning kicks. You'll see him lined up in a wishbone backfield running the ball, and you'll see him coming out of the backfield. There was a receiver as well as just running pass routes. It's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and LSU coming up. Stay with us.
Richard Petty talks about his all-time driving headaches.
Daytona 76, that was definitely a goodie. Charlotte 72, that was another goodie. Michigan 84, that was a real goodie. I've won over 200 races, but I've had over 700 headaches. So just take it from me, goodies gets rid of the pain fast, and that's what counts.
Goody's headache powders and extra strength tablets.
That's good. I'm Archie Manning with Royal Oldsmobile. In pro football, #1 draft choices need more than size, speed, and talent. They must be positive, willing, dedicated. And that's the way it is here at Royal Olds. Royal searches long and hard for people of good character, exceptional people who are positive and willing to work hard. Then Royal continuously trains them to be professionals. A real professional always has your best interest at heart. That's why I'm so high on Royal Olds.
Football in a Thanksgiving tradition. Texas A&M battles Texas, live Thursday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Larry Burnett back here in the ESPN studios. I'll be here with Bino Cook throughout tonight's game. We'll be back at halftime with look at some of the highlights from today and a special feature on Arizona lineman Stan Mataeles from the Tonga Islands, and he's an interesting story. That's coming up at halftime. We'll also be tracking several games for you throughout tonight's game. We'll start out with USC and UCLA, a game that is already in progress, and UCLA well in command of that one now, 31-0. It is at halftime. Also, Iowa at Minnesota. That game is now 7-0 with the Gophers leading, and of course they beat Michigan last week, looking to upset Iowa as well today. It is in the first quarter. We'll be keeping an eye on Louisville's game with Southern Mississippi. Also, Hawaii taking on San Diego State. San Diego State looking to possibly win the Western Athletic Conference Championship. And we'll check in on the Utah State-Fresno State game. Kevin Sweeney needs just 173 yards passing in that one to break Doug Flutie's NCAA Division 1A passing record. If he gets near that, we will cut in live to that game at Fresno, and we'll remind you that you can watch that game in tape delay tonight here on ESPN at 1 a.m. Going back to Baton Rouge in just a bit.
Experience an incredible advance in Gillette shaving smoothness. Atra Plus. The Plus is the white Lubra-Smooth strip that releases lubricants as you shave. You never felt anything smoother. Atra Plus by Gillette. The essence of shaving.
No one really knows how your skin got sensitive. But if it is, try the shave cream with more advanced lubricants than any other. New Gillette Foamy for sensitive skin.
It's time for another Safeco Insurance Pop Quiz. Here's today's question. Safeco's new Quality Plus homeowners insurance is a smart idea because A, it insures home replacement costs, B, it covers the full value of your contents, or C, it comes in 5 decorator colors. If you answered C, you can leave the room. But if you answered A or B, you may be able to get more protection for your money with Safeco. The smart choice.
This series started in 1970. Unfortunately, it will end with this game, and Notre Dame leads the series 3-2. LSU has won the toss, and they will receive. And there is Lou Holtz in his first year at Notre Dame, trying to avoid a second straight losing season for the Irish, something they have not done in modern times. And on the other side of the coin, Bill Arnsparger with an incredible record in his 3rd year at LSU. He hopes to be taking his club to the Sugar Bowl. There's John Carney, who will kick it away. And the deep men, Sammy Martin, number 23, and Eddie Fuller to the far side, number 33, set to receive the opening kickoff of a big, big game from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Glad you could join us for Saturday Night Football on ESPN. Well, they are pumped here in Baton Rouge. Low line drive kick. Taken by one of the up men back to the 30, make it the 29-yard line, and LSU will start from there after a 12-yard kickoff return. This is quarterback Tom Hodson, already number 8 on the career passing list as a freshman for LSU. In the backfield behind him, Martin starts, but he'll share running time with Harvey Williams. Wendell Davis, the big play man in the offense. Almost every catch is another record. The line, anchored by Andelsek, is especially adept at pass blocking. Pretty decent field position for LSU to start. Garland Jean-Baptiste, the up man in the eye, play fake by Hodson. Throws near side, and he's got Pinson, his tight end, for a gain of about 10 to the 39-yard line. And there is a flag down. Notre Dame's defense this year has been tough against the run. Banks, Klein, and Figaro can be dominant up front. Kovaleski, the leading tackler for the Irish, as an inside linebacker. And the secondary is solid, but has not produced many turnovers. The backs have only 4 interceptions between them this year. We'll check the penalty for you, obviously going against LSU, which will wipe out a 10-yard gain.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, repeat, first down.
So it's 1st and 20 for LSU. And it's a tough way to start your offense, Pat.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it was indicative of what they want to do tonight, not get the penalties, but they want to throw that play action on first down, get the ball downfield.
Draw play, Batiste. Garland Jean-Baptiste to the 29-yard line. George Streeter came up from the strong safety spot and made the tackle. Be interesting to watch in the passing game because Notre Dame has made a change at one corner. They have Brandy Wells, number 5, starting at the corner position. And everyone said he was going to be out for the entire season with a knee injury, but he's been able to come back, and they will start Wells at a corner even though he has played safety in college. They think he's their best cover man. We'll find out tonight if he has the speed. He is to the near side. Little swing pass to Martin. Nice move by Martin across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Very close to a first down. Lawrence, the free safety, came up to make the tackle. And Martin, they will give him the ball, Pat, any way they can do.
I love it because LSU's publicity department calls him, you know, that he gains more yards per pound than any player in the country, and they're right. He can't afford to carry the ball more than 20 times being so small, but when he gets it out there, particularly in the flats with these screen passes like that play or wide sweep, he's very effective.
3rd and a yard, and LSU will bring in Oliver Lawrence as a second tight end. And they'll go on 3rd and 1. Williams is now in at running back, 22. He will lead Garland Jean-Baptiste into the hole. And Baptiste is stacked up by Stonebreaker, who is starting in place of Ron Weisenhofer at linebacker for Notre Dame tonight. They really like Stonebreaker. And he hit Garland Jean-Baptiste. The good thing about Jean-Baptiste, later in the year, he's been used more as a running back. He's really produced for it.
Well, they need him. And really, what we just saw there is one of the big difficulties for LSU's offense this year is making the 3rd down plays, the 4th down plays down near the goal line. They're not big on the offensive line. They're not real big in the backfield. And they need Jean-Baptiste to pick up those first downs when he has an opportunity. But it doesn't look like they picked it up here.
Well, they'll measure for it. And remember, they made me look silly, though, against Alabama. I said the same thing that you did. I didn't think they had the strength to go for that 4th and a yard. They did and made it. They'll measure for this one. Hodson wants a better look, and they are short. Of course, the crowd says go. And Bill Arnsparger has not sent the kicking unit in. He will gamble in his own territory. Opening drive of the ball game, and will send Martin back in the game on 4th and inches.
Well, he did that against Alabama, too, in a critical situation. He went for a 4th down. You didn't think he would. I thought he would. He's a gambler.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in the opening quarter in his own territory.
Well, I still think it's the right move. I like it. And I bet they make it.
Some teams try to do this, just draw the other team offside and punt it away if they don't jump. But it looks like they'll go for it. And Hodson on the quarterback keeper. He's got it to the 40. Kovaleski and the interior that Notre Dame defense made the tackle. That's got to give a big lift to this offense.
Well, it does. And if you notice, Mike, he went to the right on that. He went over the right guard, Eric Andelsek, who's a lot bigger and a lot stronger than the left guard, Melanson. Keith Melanson, 66, will be taking on the best defensive lineman for Notre Dame, Wally Klein, number 96, who outweighs him by 40 pounds, and he's 6 inches taller. And that's one of the key battles tonight. Well, how Melanson handles Klein. Look at the difference in the sizes there.
Klein's listed at 274, probably bigger than that, too. 1st and 10, opening drive of the ball game. Hodson, who's had a brilliant season as a freshman at quarterback, sidearms this one and threw it out of bounds, intended for Davis. But Hodson just wanted to unload that one.
Well, let's watch Nacho Albagamo, the center, and Eric Andelsek, who we were just talking about, the right guard. Very strong, both of them, particularly Andelsek. Look at him. That should have been a penalty. Punched the guy once, twice. Their little left there. This guy's a mean player. He's the kind of guy you want in front of you as a quarterback.
He was just named third-team All-American by the Football News this week.
Okay, that's all.
Wonder if LSU has a boxing team. He might be on that one. Carlos Jean-Baptiste won't go down. Driving forward. And he was dragging Brandy Wells with him. Jean-Baptiste at 212 is a strong young man.
He said it earlier. They need him. He had a very good game against Alabama. He's very strong, Jean-Baptiste is. Just cuts right off now. It's just brute strength. He's just not going to go down with one tackler, and a good fullback shouldn't. Keep his legs moving. That's good running right there, and they need it.
When Brandy Wells was in a tough situation while he was trying to make the tackle, Andelsek came downfield and threw a good block. Over the middle, complete to Davis at the Notre Dame 40. And it was Brandy Wells with him, but he's got an LSU first down. Hodson gunned it in there, and Wendell Davis setting just about every record you can think of.
Well, I think that typifies why he is second in the country in receiving. I think he's got besides being a fine receiver himself, he's got a young quarterback, Tom Hodson. Freshman is going to sit back there and wait for him to get open as he did on that play, and he drilled him the ball.
Second in the nation in receiving, and as you saw, that was his 100th career catch. 1st and 10 from the Notre Dame 40. Here comes the blitz. They picked it up and dumped it over the middle, and it's Kinchin. Kinchin at the 16-yard line, and he was wide open. And was the blitzing man the guy who was responsible for Kinchin?
Now, this was a cover two, and Notre Dame, they need to get a lot of support on the outside. And here they split their safeties. They blitz at the middle, but the important thing is they split their safeties. They don't get their linebackers deep. They're still in the picture. Perfect throw right over the middle. He finds a tight end, and that is where Notre Dame is vulnerable.
For Kinchin, his 22nd catch this year. He's had 2 touchdowns. Hodson now 3 out of 4 for 45 yards in this opening drive with 11:15 to go. Martin in motion. They'll give it to him on a reverse, coming back the other way. And defense well by Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish get Robert Banks, the left tackle, out there to make the stop. Banks was an inside linebacker a year ago. They switched him to defensive tackle because they needed some quickness. I don't ever remember seeing that play.
No, but, you know, Bill Arnsparger will surprise you. He's supposed to be so conservative. He goes for 1st down and 4th down here in the first quarter. He calls some plays. You know, going back to that splitting the safeties with Kinchin up the middle, if they can successfully do that and make Notre Dame then play a cover 3 with the middle safety, they'll be able to run around the ends, and that's why it's important they complete those passes early.
2nd down, about 8. Now Williams in the ball game. He takes the toss. They stack him up in a hurry. Cedric Figueroa on the stop. The outside linebacker made the good play. Streeter and Wells came up from the secondary for some support.
Well, this is the area LSU's had a lot of problems. We talked about it earlier. Inside the 15, inside the 20-yard line. They're not real big. They can't run real well. I'm surprised they didn't put the ball up on 1st and 2nd down. They're much more effective when they go to play action early.
Figueroa has a miraculous school record. He has 7 fumble recoveries this year. Most guys won't do that in a career. 3rd and 6. Hodson all day to throw. Guns over the middle. Touchdown, Wendell Davis. That is the 14th touchdown pass this year for Hodson, the 8th caught by Wendell Davis, and David Browndyke is on for the point after.
Well, let's look at this touchdown again. Wendell Davis right in the middle of your screen, just going to run a simple hook. But the key again, Hodson has time, and he will wait, and finally find him. And it's like Davis knows he's going to eventually get the ball, and he will get open. I think Notre Dame's got to play different defense against him. Going to have to hit him at the line of scrimmage.
LSU draws first blood. It's 7-0 Tigers.
The new Jeep Wrangler is a vehicle that's ready for anything. Naturally, it's tough. But it also has a tailgate that makes cargo easy to get to. A tight-fitting, soft top. And it has a surprisingly smooth on-road ride. So Wrangler really is ready for anything. Even the environment Jeep drivers dread most. Civilization.
Notre Dame at LSU is brought to you by Rolaids. For acid indigestion or heartburn, Rolaids spells 100% relief. And by Jeep. There's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep.
LSU very impressive in its opening drive. They went 71 yards, including a 4th and inches gamble, and it has them on top 7-0. Ron Lewis set to kick it away, and the man he's kicking to is Tim Brown, one of the most dangerous men in college football. First team All-America named this week by the Football News, and boy, he deserves it. And he'll get a shot at this one. 9th in the country in kick returns. Look at this, Tim Brown. He's gone.
And no flags.
It's his 96-yard kickoff return. He had a 97-yarder earlier in the season. Another 97-yarder was called back. What a run by Brown. Holy cow. He didn't have much of a seam either, but he got through it, and once he had the step, you could forget it.
Well, that was excellent blocking, though. They've given him good return. They let him get some speed up, and no one's going to tackle him.
John Carney will come on. He's 22 out of 23. And look at this. Carney's looking for a holder. There's nobody out there to hold the football.
I guess you couldn't say hold it, could you?
And Dan Sorensen, the punter, comes on. Berline has been holding for him, and Sorensen comes in. Maybe something happened to Berline.
Well, here's Mr. Excitement, Tim Brown. We told you about him. Whenever he gets the ball as a receiver, a runner, or kick returner, he is trouble. He really breaks his clean here. That's excellent blocking. He finds it, breaks one tackle, and it's all over. He had 2 blockers left. Well, we've already seen Tim Brown and Wendell Davis make their presences known, both of them. He's just so exciting, so fast.
The Irish strike in a hurry with 9 minutes and 36 seconds to go first quarter. We're tied at 7.
Jeep Cherokee has just been reborn. It can now be ordered with a 4-liter, 6-cylinder, 173-horsepower engine. Nothing in Cherokee's class even comes close. In fact, with this engine and a choice of 2 or 4 doors and 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, you could say nothing's in Cherokee's class.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy. The Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the armed forces. It's a great place to start.
Playing for #1 in the Patrick Division, the Pittsburgh Penguins face the New York Islanders live Tuesday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Welcome back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That is number 81, Tim Brown, who returned to kickoff 96 yards to tie this one up. Last week, he had one called back that went 97 yards on a questionable clipping call. Now, we knew this was going to be a good game. We didn't know it would be this good. 7-7 with 9:36 to go. First quarter. You've missed a lot, but there's a lot more coming. Carney to kick off. Martin near side, Fuller far side of the return men. High short kick again. And one of the up men signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 17-yard line.
I think LSU wish they had kicked a kickoff just like that. But Tim Brown, just watch the speed. And again, the kickoff team has been great for him all year. He only has to break one tackle here, and that's it. He never had to make a cut. That's just fine design by the coaches, and no one's going to catch him from behind. Look at that stride. I'd already be falling down.
He's the guy they want to get it to. They'll run him out of the wishbone as a flanker. They'll run him from scrimmage. They'll do anything they can to get him to football. Might even return some punts tonight, which he had not done before. So now LSU a little bit stunned. They have the ball 1st and 10 from the 17. Williams is in there with Jean-Baptiste in the backfield behind Hodson. And it's Williams. Slides off the tackle and gets to the 22-yard line. Stop made by Figueroa, the outside linebacker. There's some score updates for you. Want to follow National Hockey League tonight. First period scores. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go. First quarter. LSU 2nd and 6 from their own 22. Williams got outside in a hurry. First down to the 33-yard line. Knocked down by Stonebreaker. And Wilson, number 12.
Well, the next 4 years, you're going to be hearing the name Harvey Williams a lot. He's had a fine freshman season. Just a quick pitch. They want to get the corner because Notre Dame's very big and strong inside. So you want to get the quick pitch and let Sammy Martin and Harvey Williams run outside. Nice execution on that play.
1st and 10, LSU. They have had no trouble moving the ball against a very stubborn Notre Dame defense. It's been that way throughout the year. Here's Williams across the 30, maybe the 31, and no more. Kovaleski, number 49, the leading tackler, was the man who met him. And Tim Brando's down on the sidelines for us tonight. Tim?
Mike, on the last series, Wendell Davis over the middle was a big play for LSU. They're trying to soften up the middle again by using Harvey Williams outside. Look for Raji McGee in this series. They played soft on him. That's what Raji told the coaches down here on the LSU sideline.
Receivers say that every time they can. Every chance they get, Timmy, they're going to say the defense. Even if you're a triple team, you say they're playing you soft.
There goes McGee, who's almost been lost in the shuffle with a great play of Wendell Davis. 2nd and 8. Williams trying to get outside, cuts inside a block. Flag is down, and that's going to be a hold out there as Kovaleski was just grabbed and taken down. And it looked like Melanson was the man who got out there and grabbed a hold of it, trying to lead the sweep.
You can see the last 2 times, Mike, they tried to go outside. They're longer plays instead of that quick pitch we saw to the short side of the field. It's very difficult to run laterally against Notre Dame if you don't get the ball around the corner in a hurry.
And that's going to be the 2nd holding call here in the first quarter against LSU.
But if their corners keep coming up, their secondary keeps forcing like they are on these outside plays, again, that will open up the middle to Kenshin or McGee across the middle. They can't keep using their corners and their safeties to stop the running game without being hurt against the passing.
Holding against the offense beyond the line of scrimmage. Repeat, 2nd down.
Of course, most coaches will always come out and tell you the first thing we need to do is stop the run. Got to stop the run. And, of course, like Lou Holtz said, I'd like to run the fullback up the middle for 60 minutes. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But they don't let you do that very often. 2nd and 19 as the penalty is marked from the spot of the foul. McGee comes to the near side as a flanker. It's Davis in the slot. Want to throw a screen. And they've got it to Jean-Baptiste. Blockers in front. Fumble. Notre Dame's got it. The Irish have recovered at the 33-yard line. It looks like Figaro, and if it is, that would be his 8th of the year. Pickett, number 34, will get credit for the recovery.
They're giving a break to LSU on this. This is definitely a fumble. Oh, this is
did they
referee.
say
The
no
officials
fumble?
definitely missed this call. They set up the screen well. You see Jean-Baptiste get the ball, and the reason he's going to fumble is by watching him. He's going to jump in the air, and he's very vulnerable there. He doesn't have the ball put away, and that is a fumble, no
How
question.
could that not be a fumble? Holy cow, what a call.
You notice the crowd's very quiet. They'd be booing if it was at Notre Dame.
What a break for LSU. 3rd and 14. 3-man rush all day to throw, and over the middle, and it's loose again on the ground. That was an incomplete pass.
No, they're going
And
to
they
give
say
him
LSU recovered this one.
I want to see if the officials talk about this one. And,
I thought that was an incomplete pass.
This would be 2 incredible calls consecutively. He's going to run a crossing route here, Wendell Davis, and actually this ball should have been held. It should have been caught. It was a nice throw by Hodson, but he's going to get hit, I think, before he gets control of the ball. We'll see.
No, he had that.
That's a fumble. Now they're going to call him down, though. They got a first down. It should have either been incomplete and they should have punted, or it should have been a turnover. This is two calls by the officials, which have really hurt Notre Dame. It's been that kind of year for them. They're not getting the breaks when they need it. 2
obvious fumbles, both of which were recovered by Notre Dame, and Lou Holtz must have wondered what he's done to somebody in a past life. He hasn't gotten a break all night, all year for that matter. You could understand if the officials didn't have an angle on that one, missing that call, but how could they miss the first one? It is a split officiating crew tonight, Independence and Southeastern Conference. Most coaches don't like that setup to begin with.
I don't think Lou Holtz thinks it's split right now. I think it's going all the way to LSU.
Now they just flat missed it. 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. They have the ball at their own 49. We're tied at 7. This is Moss in motion. Hodson under pressure, gets it out there, complete to Moss. Slipped the tackle to the Notre Dame 35-yard line. That's only the 6th catch this year for Tony Moss, the freshman from Bossier City.
Well, this is a nice read, actually, by Hodson. He's going to look at this pattern. He could have thrown a curl or he could have gone outside. He threw it across his body, delivered the ball, and then he broke the tackle. Moss did the rest. But he also had the hook man open there. It's not looking good right now for the Irish secondary. They are not covering people.
There's a good look at the freshman. And LSU now has the ball 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. And Hodson is 8 out of 9 for 96 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter. Martin tries to get outside. Great cutback by Martin to the 27-yard line. Sammy Martin just left somebody standing flat still. Smagala had to make the tackle out of the secondary.
That's that quick pitch again. They want to get the ball into Williams and to Martin on the outside quickly and leave it up to him. One-on-one, they'll take him all day long against a defensive lineman. He's just too quick. He just stops on a dime, and it's really unusual to see it such adeptness on grass. You know, AstroTurf, you see those sharp cuts, but on grass, it's a lot tougher.
Good look at Sammy. And this one is not going to work as Notre Dame defensed it well. Dave Butler, the linebacker, came crashing through. He was an inside linebacker also a year ago, was moved up to the front of the lines, done a great job on it. Going to be 3rd down and 5 now after the loss. And be a big play. Three minutes and 49 seconds and counting. First quarter, LSU driving. Comes the blitz, they pick it up. Hodson is right on the money again, this time to Martin to the 15-yard line. Another first down. Streeter and Wilson on the tackle, but Hodson has been perfect.
We've got to give a lot of credit to the coaches. They're really designing the offense well for this group of people. The personnel they're using right there, they use Martin. He's an excellent receiver. They put him in a twin formation, and they double covered on the outside, trying to take the ball away from Wendell Davis. And Hodson, only a freshman, but he found the right guy again. He saw Sammy Martin hit him.
Quick pitch, Williams. Cut it back, kept his feet to the 10. He got 5 yards out of something that didn't look like he was going to get anything. And Troy Wilson, number 12, has been very busy from a corner spot making tackles tonight. Let's go to Tim Brando. Tim?
You'll notice big number 75, John Hazard, is back in. He pulled a muscle, but he's in good shape, and they've got him back in there on this particular play. Coming up, Mike and Pat, he is back in the game. Number 75 in purple and gold.
Time of the year with just about everybody beat up, isn't it? 2nd and 5. They go with a quick toss again. And they're going to say he was down.
Well,
the knee of Harvey Williams is ruled by the official as down, and the crowd doesn't like it.
No. This incredible exhibition of balance. I don't think he went down on this play, but we'll see it up close. Let's see if he goes down or if he keeps his balance. Move your head. I think he went down.
I think he went down.
We'll never know, though, because
they missed 2 easy fumble calls, but they did get a knee hitting the ground. 3rd and 5.
And that was one of those cases where the turf just went out from under his feet. It wouldn't happen on AstroTurf.
Excuse me, 3rd and 8. Big play here. Jean Baptiste, the only one left in the backfield. They'll dump it off to him. Nice move by Jean Baptiste. Driven out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Inside the 6, so they're going to be about a half a yard short again. James Bobb, number 19, drove him out of bounds.
All right, Coach Patrick, you going to go for it, or are you going to kick a field goal? I bet he goes for it again.
You've got to go for it after you've already established that you're going to try it from your own 39-yard line. You might as well try it from their 6.
Gets easier every time, huh?
Sure. And they'll send in Lawrence, another tight end, and Bill Arnsparger will go for it again. The upside of this gamble is even if it doesn't work, the other team is backed up inside their own 10-yard line. And here is Hodson, who's had a brilliant first quarter. Really a brilliant year as a freshman. He's been truly outstanding. He'll make a lot of All-American teams next year.
I think he's going to definitely be a threat to. He's going to get better with time.
4th and a yard. Jean Baptiste. He got it. He's down to the 4. He just rolled over bodies.
That was funny because he really didn't get too airborne, did he?
No.
That was not Harvey Williams. We saw his jump earlier in the year. He just manages to get over the bodies and roll forward and pick up this first down. Jean Baptiste is not that big and really doesn't jump very well either, but he uses his body and falls forward. He's fortunate they didn't have a linebacker jumping over the top and meeting him in the air. He would never have made that.
1st and goal for LSU, and Eddie Fuller, number 33, will check into Bill Arnsparger's backfield. Back there, it was Jean Baptiste. Jean Baptiste really took a pop at the line of scrimmage. This Tom Gorman, number 87, who stood him up. Gorman, 6'6", 230. But we tell you, some of these Notre Dame listed weights are a little low. Gorman probably goes 260.
Which is unusual because usually colleges always fabricate the weights, the heights, the speeds. They usually always pad them, but in Notre Dame's case, they're actually underestimating the size of their players.
Tell you what, that's no estimate. 2nd and goal from the 4. Didn't gain an inch on the last play. 2 tight ends again. The wingman is Davis, and he goes in motion. Hodson all day to throw and throws this one away. Contact in the end zone. Crowd booed a little bit, but no call. Let's go to Larry Burnett in the studio.
All right, Mike, last week it was Michigan on the road. Tonight it is Iowa at the Metro Dome in Minneapolis, and Minnesota giving the Hawkeyes trouble. Darrell Thompson, 8 yards for the touchdown. Minnesota is leading 14-0 that game in the 2nd quarter at Minneapolis.
Thank you, Larry. 7-7 here, and it's 3rd and goal from the 4, Pat.
The quarter is almost over. This is incredible. This will be LSU's 29th offensive play. Notre Dame, 0. They have not run a play from scrimmage.
If you don't count the kickoff return.
From
it
scrimmage.
counts for 7 points. Yeah, that is unbelievable. We haven't had a chance to introduce the offense yet. Hodson, touchdown! Raji McGee. Two first-quarter touchdown passes for Hodson. One to Wendell Davis, that one to Raji McGee, his 3rd of the season. The only player on this club to start every game for the last 2 years. And Browndyke will come on and try to make it 14-7. And does.
Notre Dame simply doesn't have the personnel to play McGee and Davis man-to-man, and so McGee's going against his zone here. He's just going to find a little opening, and Hodson will drill it to him. Really, down that close to the end zone, you can't play a zone. You've got to play man-to-man.
Bill Arnsparger watching from the sideline. He's seen it enough this year. This passing attack has been devastating. And Hodson is just on fire here in the first quarter. It's a 14-7 LSU lead.
This is Jeep's all-new 4-liter 6-cylinder engine. It has sequential molded-point electronic fuel injection. It puts out 173 horsepower and 220 foot-pounds of torque. But most important, if you put this new engine in a Jeep Cherokee or a Jeep Comanche, you're going to see more speed and power than you've ever seen from vehicles like this. Just remember where you saw it first.
After lifting a total of 25,000 pounds, Lou Ferrigno isn't finished until he lifts 1 ounce of the 47 vitamins, minerals, enzymes, carbohydrates, and amino acids that help make his workouts work. Dynamic Muscle Builder. From Weider, America's total fitness company.
Mr. Weider, it won't happen again, I promise.
Where's the defense? 14-7 first quarter, 49 seconds left. LSU has had 2 possessions, 2 long touchdown drives. Notre Dame's offense hasn't been on the field yet. They have literally not run a play from scrimmage, but that man, Tim Brown, took the last kickoff 96 yards, and Nell Squibbett, he'll still get it at the 10. Almost broke it again. If he had been able to break that last tackle, he's got nothing but 70 yards in green in front of him. We've got a timeout. It's a 7-point game.
This is the Boardwalk Ski Team. They're good at what they do because everything they do gets you on the slopes in comfort and in style. At Boardwalk, you get pro advice, plus the right price on the hottest styles on ice. Brand names at their best. Play at Boardwalk Ski, the only total ski shop East Bank and West. The most excitement this ski season is at Boardwalk Ski, Metairie and Harvey.
Over 14 years ago, when we envisioned McElwain Cadillac, we searched the entire New Orleans area for the perfect location. We found it just a block off Clearview, Veterans, and I-10. Today, we're still at that same location. And why not? We have it all. Easy access, safe, pleasant surroundings. So why go downtown when you can come here to a greater New Orleans Cadillac dealer? The place you purchase a luxury car should be every bit as enjoyable as the car itself. McElwain, the New Orleans name for Cadillac.
Jets Ken O'Brien fatten his league-leading passing totals against the Dolphins. Find out this week on Zenith Monday Night Matchup.
42 seconds to go first quarter, and if you joined us late, this is the first time in this ball game that Notre Dame's offensive unit has taken the field. They scored on a kickoff return, and that's it. The other 2 LSU drives ate up the rest of the clock. And Steve Berline, number 7, will have Anthony Johnson 22 and Braxton Banks 39 behind him. And there are the plays in the first quarter. That's unbelievable. Berline's had a great year under Lou Holtz. Fake to Johnson. Wants it off at Brown, and he's open. And it's overthrown. Just off his fingertips. He had 2 steps on Guidry, and it was almost another bomb for Brown.
And they had him double covered on this play, Mike. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Notre Dame wants to get the ball in his hands. They're not going to hide that fact. They go up top the first play, and he is open. He's open by 3 or 4 yards, and he's just, you know, they say Berline doesn't have that strong an arm, but it was too strong in this case. And he was actually double covered here. Look at, there's not even a defender near him. At speed.
Threw that baby about 55 yards in the air. 2nd and 10. Notre Dame with multiple formations on offense. They'll toss it out to the fullback this time, and no place to go for Banks. Thomas and Caston in on the stop. Taking a look at that Notre Dame offense, of course, you have Berline, who owns virtually all of the Irish passing records. and has really improved this year, as we said. Johnson has become the club's leading rusher at tailback, but the biggest threat, as you've already seen, is Brown, the All-American flanker, and the line has been a very pleasant surprise, both run and pass blocking. Right now they've got a 3rd and 8 situation. Berline splits his receivers, has 3 wide receivers, and Banks behind him. 4-man rush. Berline dumps it off. It's complete to his tight end, Joel Williams. Pearson makes the tackle, but it's going to be well shy of a first down. So Notre Dame can't get anything going on its first offensive series. And they love it in Baton Rouge.
And the only disappointed LSU fans are the mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters of the defensive unit who we weren't able to introduce to the people. They haven't been on the field long enough.
Sorensen, who's been up and down this year, and Norman Jefferson, All-SEC cornerback a year ago, has been injured, is back to receive. Oh, Sorensen gets off an awful punt, and it goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line of LSU. That's a 23-yard kick. And LSU will be in great position as they take over. Sorensen gets a pat as he goes to the sideline. Our live presentation of CFA football continues on Thanksgiving night when one of college football's great rivalries is renewed for the 93rd time as Texas hosts Texas A&M. Our coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Chris Berman, Larry Burnett, and Bino Cook host the Mercury College scoreboard show. Then next Saturday night, a doubleheader, Brigham Young at San Diego State. Stanford against Arizona from Tokyo. Will be in San Diego. The toss to Martin. Cuts it back and gets to the 46. And this is a sign of an offense, Pat, that is saying this is working and we're going to keep doing it until you make us stop. That will be the end of the first quarter of play at Baton Rouge. It's LSU leading Notre Dame. Our score is 14-7.
Every Christmas, millions of ties, belts, and bottles of cologne are returned. Yet nearly 90% of all men who get Gillette Brush Plus love it and keep using it. So give Brush Plus, and all you'll return are compliments.
Hello? Hey. Hello? Call by 12 o'clock. Oh, you promised.
Lots of people with telephones not made by AT&T are reporting some kind of complaint. When was the last time you had a complaint with an AT&T phone? If you've had it with second-class phones, get an AT&T phone now and receive up to $20 in free AT&T long-distance calling. AT&T, the right choice.
No battery has the energy to outrun the Energizer, even in a toy robot. No battery outruns the Energizer.
Who says you can't have old world taste and a new world waste? Old world aging and the new world's youthful spirit. Europe's finest hops in America's finest light beer. Michelob Light. Old world quality from Anheuser-Busch. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can have it all.
Experience an incredible advance in Gillette shaving smoothness. Atra Plus. The Plus is the white LubriSmooth strip that releases lubricants as you shave. You've never felt anything smoother. Atra Plus by Gillette, the essence of shaving.
We're ready to start the second quarter, 14-7 LSU, and as you see from that sign, they want to go to the Sugar Bowl, and just about everybody in the state of Louisiana thinks they've already earned that right, but the Sugar Bowl committee is going to wait and see what happens with this game and also Alabama-Auburn. There's Hodson, who has had an incredible first quarter, and he brings them out on 2nd and 4. Screen. Martin splits the defenders and gets into Notre Dame territory at the 49. He's very close to a first down. Take a look at the statistics in the first quarter, and they are going to be way out of whack because Notre Dame only had 3 plays from scrimmage. Look at
45 seconds Notre Dame had the ball on offense.
It's great ball control by LSU. And we have an injured player right now, as the officials are also, an LSU player down, as the officials are also checking to see whether it's a first down or not. Pick him up for you as soon as we can confirm a number. Pat, we were talking about before the quarter, we were talking about LSU's offense. They determined in advance they were going to try to run outside. This is something they told us. And it looks like Wendell Davis, a little bit shaken up. They're holding the back of his head. I think he just got his bell rung. They have tried to run outside. They've been successful at it. They're going to keep doing it until Notre Dame stops it.
I agree. And if they can continue running outside, and if Notre Dame does finally stop, they'll go up the middle and throw the ball. Good combination.
All roads lead to Sears' biggest automotive sale of the year. Save 30% on Sears' best-selling tire, the Road Handler 45 Radial. Made by Michelin and backed by Sears. Now as low as $44.99, only at Sears. And get superb performance with the Sears heavy-duty gas shock. At $9.99, its price has never been lower. But hurry, this sale is on now.
There's more for your life.
We installed confidence.
At Sears.
Choose from the full line of Daly's cocktail mixes at your favorite store.
When you're the second, look at right on the right side of your screen right there. This is Wendell Davis is going to get knocked right on his can. He's not within 30 yards of the ball, but when you're the second leading receiver in the country, you're going to get attention all over the field. You got to learn to protect yourself.
You got to pay attention. You can't be running around looking the other way. 14-7 LSU. It is a 1st and 10 for the Tigers in Notre Dame territory. And I'll tell you one thing, if Notre Dame doesn't get a pass rush, Hodson may complete 70 passes tonight. Back to throw on this one, draw. Jean-Baptiste. Jean-Baptiste down to the 45-yard line. Gorman making the stop. Usually you run the draw against the team that's giving you trouble on pass rush, but they run several draws and several screens, and they work too.
Well, I just think that they have the Notre Dame defense confused right now, and actually out personnel. They I think they can beat them up the middle when they start stunning outside. When they go outside, you know, they just don't have the people to cover them man-to-man, and I think they're in trouble defensively.
Wendell Davis got rid of the cobwebs, and he's flanked to the top of the screen on 2nd and 6. Hodson, nice play fake, all day to throw. Davis wide open down the 29-yard line. This is like shooting fish in a barrel right now.
Well, there's no way that Notre Dame's going to stop this offense playing these zone defenses. You'll be able to see the entire secondary now. It's just a simple zone, 3-zone. Davis on top of your screen right in the middle now. He just runs a simple curl pattern, and Hodson has all day. If they don't put pressure on him, he's going to be able to sit back there and hit him all night long.
Wendell Davis now with 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. We're in the opening minute and a half of the second quarter. He is now the new all-time receiving record leader at 1,105 yards for LSU. Hodson just 12 out of 14 for 140 yards. Here's the sweep again. Williams lost the ball out of bounds, but it will be LSU's possession at the 26. You know, everything going right for LSU.
Well, we've seen Wendell Davis play 3 times now this year, and no defense has stopped him, and no one has attempted thus far to hit him at the line of scrimmage. So letting him run. He's too smart a receiver, and Hodson's too good a quarterback. He's going to find him. I think Notre Dame's going to have to change. They're going to have to double cover him and bang him at the line of scrimmage with a linebacker. They can't let him run free in the zone.
I think the other way to stop him is get him in the locker room and weld him shut in his locker.
Well, they tried to stop him with that hit away from the ball a couple plays ago.
2nd and 7. Ball at the Notre Dame 26. LSU has not been stopped on any drive yet. This is their 3rd. Williams to the 20. About a yard shy of a first down. Matt Dingens in on the stop, along with Robert Banks, number 56, on the bottom of the pile for the Notre Dame defense.
You remember that first game of the year when we had LSU? The next day we went in and talked to Bill Arnsparger, and And my first question, I was a young, naive announcer, and I said, well, I guess you're going to have a lot of trouble replacing your running backs and your quarterback. And he just stopped me and said, we've got people that can play. That's the wrong question to ask me. You'll see. And he was right. Nowadays, I go in there and I say, well, what do you think you need to improve on?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bill's fun to be around. 3rd down and a yard, and Hodson doesn't like what he sees and wants a timeout for LSU. We have 12 minutes and 37 seconds to go from a sold-out Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. It's LSU by a touchdown.
The BMW 735i is one of those rare luxury sedans engineered by driving enthusiasts. While other luxury sedans announce to the world you've arrived, the new BMW 735i offers you the considerable advantage of arriving a bit sooner. For a test drive, contact your local BMW dealer.
Why sit in the doldrums when you can ride the crest?
The Atlantic difference.
Get the Atlantic difference. 8% on your money market guaranteed for 2 months. Call 1-800-4-ATLANTIC and make more money with Atlantic's money market. 8% guaranteed for 2 months. Call the Atlantic coast to coast for an 8% money market. The Atlantic, member FSLIC.
Tonight's game is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, simply phone your nearest BMW dealer. And by The Atlantic, we can make a difference.
This is Mike Patrick along with Pat McAnally and Tim Brando. Great to have you with us from LSU tonight. Lou Holtz on the sideline. He is watching his defense be shredded by an LSU offense that faces 3rd and 1. And Jean-Baptiste has the first down and maybe a foot more. Kovaleski in there on the stop, but Notre Dame's big, strong defense has just not been able to handle LSU.
Well, this is the 3rd time that LSU's been able to pick up a key first down on 3rd or 4th down. They're just quicker than Notre Dame right now. They're outplaying them because Notre Dame is a lot bigger and a lot bigger. They're not as quick. And as you said earlier, Mike, the reason they're running wide is they want to tire that defense out. Those big linemen, they get them tired, then they can throw the ball, which they've been doing.
Just saw the 11th first down for LSU. Notre Dame, who's only had 3 offensive plays, has none. Quick toss again, and Williams down. Broken up nicely by Dave Butler, number 37, who crashed in there.
And that was a reverse. That was not meant to be a mismatch. They talked to the offensive coordinator yesterday. They wanted to run this play. And if they had been able to hand this ball off right now, if Harvey Williams had been able to keep his balance and hand this ball off, that's a big play. It probably would have been a touchdown. There isn't anybody on the other side.
Ed Salisbury, number 28, coming back the other way from his flanker spot. Never got a chance to touch the ball, so it's 2nd and 12. Really, the first big defensive play Notre Dame has turned in tonight.
First penetration they've had, you need that.
Hodson against the 3-man rush, plenty of time. Good defense that time as they threw for Davis, and it's broken up by Cedric Figueroa. And the crowd wanted a little interference call there, but it looked like Figueroa got there just in time.
We'll see if Davis gets interfered with. It's a nice play, actually. Yeah. I think it was a clean play. He got his hand in there. But what you couldn't see right there was that Jean-Baptiste was out in the flat 44, totally uncovered. They double-teamed. They put a lot of pressure that time, gambling to stop Davis, and they had a receiver running free.
Hodson with some great stats here in the first half. LSU now 3rd and 12. They're 6 out of 8 conversions.
Screen
Under
again.
pressure now. Screen to Jean-Baptiste. Blockers in front. He cut it outside. Maybe should have gone inside. Driven out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Troy Wilson got over there. Had 3 blockers inside. For some reason, decided to go outside. There's Wilson out of Frederick, Maryland, the senior.
The only time Notre Dame's been able to put any pressure at all on Hodson or on the screen passes when they want him to.
That's right. Let him through. This is David Browndyke, who became the kicker against Kentucky and has been outstanding. 11 out of 14 in the field goal department. Plenty of leg. He'll try a 36-yarder here. Plenty of distance, but he pulled it. And for a change, something has gone right for Notre Dame in this ball game. Pat, do you think it has anything to do with the loss last week to Penn State? They were so emotional in that ball game. They played so hard. They thought they deserved to win it, and they didn't. It's a little difficult to come out and play again after that, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it's been a series of losses. They really are the finest, team with the losing record in the country. They played a lot of teams well. They should have beat Michigan early, had a couple questionable calls, missed a field goal at the end of the game. And you're right, Penn State, that should have been a big, big win for them at home. And you're coming into a place like LSU, and they're tough enough to beat anyway, but on the heels of a loss like that. But you'd think after that big kickoff return, they'd be jacked up and ready to play.
Burline brings him out there in the wishbone, and they'll give it to Brown on the toss. Brown stays on his feet, gets out to the 24-yard line. Carrier and Pearson from the secondary. There's Carrier, who is also the deep snapper on punts and a demon on kick coverage.
Bill Arnsparger brought up an interesting point yesterday. He said what's so effective about using Tim Brown in the backfield is they don't have to substitute, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defense because you don't know if they're going to be in the wishbone, he's going to be in the backfield, or as a flanker. Very smart.
In a day like this of situation substitution, it is 2nd and 6. Brown already with 122 yards and all-purpose yards after that kickoff return for a touchdown. Johnson, and he's wrapped up, and it's Henry Thomas, the big man in the middle. Thomas finally healthy again, at least as healthy as he has been.
Coach Holtz was worried about Chuck Lanza against number 96 right in the middle of your screen, Henry Thomas. We've seen him this year. He's made big plays all year, just through the center side and made the tackle single-handedly. He's been doing that all year, and if LSU can get the play from Thomas, Wilson, and Barbe, their front three defensive linemen, they can be tough to move the ball against.
Last year against Notre Dame, he had 9 tackles, blocked 2 field goals, and almost blocked another. 3rd and 4. Burline. Quick drop, has it tipped, and almost intercepted by Caston. Caston had it in his hands and couldn't hold it. And he is really upset.
Boy, this could have been a touchdown right there, Mike. They put the pressure on him. They got penetration with their defensive line, knocked the ball up the air, and Kobe Caston had himself a touchdown, but he couldn't hold on to it. There's the big jump, though, by Roland Barbe.
Yep.
Oh, right there. That's
Look
a touch.
At Caston.
Front three from LSU are so strong.
And now Sorensen, who had a terrible punt his first time out, gets off a better one, not a great kick. Taken by Jefferson. Reverses his field. Good return by Jefferson. Got it out to the 44-yard line. A 7-yard return after a low 37-yard punt. 9:47 to go in the first half. Still LSU by 7.
Jefferson. How much longer till we get there?
About 20 minutes.
Anti-lock brakes, internationally patented suspension, uncanny control. Conventional luxury sedans are built to survive accidents. BMW 528e is built to avoid them.
Let's see if they're okay.
Why sit in the doldrums when you can ride the crest?
The Atlantic difference.
Get the Atlantic difference. 8% on your money market, guaranteed for 2 months. Call 1-800-4-ATLANTIC and make more money with Atlantic's money market. 8% guaranteed for 2 months. Call the Atlantic coast to coast for an 8% money market. The Atlantic, member FSLIC.
LSU defensive lineman Roland Barbe joins the fight against drugs.
Participating in sports, whether on a college or professional level, seems to be a one-time thing. It's a very enjoyable experience, and I've liked it a lot. I feel very blessed to be a part of it. I think there's one thing that can really cut your time short is participating in drugs. Drugs really do not have a place in sports, and I think it's really not worth the time or the effort to try experience with them.
The preceding brought to you by the College Football Association.
Tom Hodson on the LSU sideline. He'll get a breather here. He needs it after throwing 13 out of 16. Early in this ball game, 142 yards, a pair of scores, and Mickey Guidry, number 10, will check into the ball game for him. Guidry plays at least a series every half and has been very effective. Look at the completion percentage.
And he's 2 for 2 on games we've telecast. He's led up touchdowns both times, first series.
He'll start from his own 44-yard line. They'll give it off to Fuller. Fuller picks up about 6. Mike Griffin, number 94, got a piece of an ankle and tripped him up. Let's check in with Tim Brando on the sideline.
Mike, there's some concern by the Notre Dame staff that they're not getting an adequate pass rush from their down people. It's likely that we'll see Cedric Figueroa perhaps blitzing from his outside linebacker spot on 2nd and long situations. But as you both well know, with Mickey Guidry, that may change the LSU offensive picture a bit.
He's a great reader of defenses, Tim, and you're right, but they've got to do something. Come with a 3-man rush. Here's a little swing. And that time, Notre Dame got out there, and it was Kovaleski making a nice play. And again, there was pressure by Notre Dame, but it was because they let the defensive lineman through.
Yeah, the only time they put any pressure on the quarterbacks at all has been when the LSU offensive coordinator actually designed it so they would think they were putting pressure on them, and in actuality, it's what they wanted. Right now, Guidry, this is where he's so tough. On 3rd down situations, he can read those defenses like you said, Mike, and it makes it tough to blitz him because he'll burn you.
Got 3 wide receivers in there. Salisbury 28, Davis 82, and McGee 80 on 3rd and 7. Notre Dame showing blitz.
They did. Blitz outside.
Come with 5, and Guidry trying to get outside of it. He's in trouble. Floats it down the sideline. Almost intercepted right through the hands of Steve Lawrence.
Well, they brought 5 that time, Mike. They brought both outside backers and the interior lineman. Finally put some pressure on him.
Trying to hit Harris coming out of the backfield.
Well, this is the best way to disrupt the passing game. Get some pressure on the quarterback. Right here they do it. They flush him out of the pocket so he couldn't stand there and throw the ball against the zone.
Tim Brown, deep for Notre Dame.
And Lawrence almost had the interception. Those defensive backs for Notre Dame only have 4 picks the entire season. Brown is back to receive a punt, and he will never get a chance.
Oh, did he hit
as Matt DeFrank airmails it for 53 yards plus. Let's check in for a scoreboard update with Larry Burnett.
Okay, Mike, Iowa and Minnesota are at the half. Here is the last play of the first half from the Metro Dome. Chip Lohmiller, he kicked the winning field goal against Michigan last week. He boots a 62-yarder. Minnesota leading Iowa 17-0 at the half.
(14-7) our score. LSU on top of Notre Dame. The Irish defense hasn't been able to break a sweat yet. They'll give it up the middle this time. Andrzak in at quarterback, and Thomas will make the tackle. This is Terry Andrzak. He's a junior, 6'1", 181 pounds. And we mentioned the fact that something may have happened to Berline because he did not hold for the extra point, and he doesn't appear to be injured. He's standing on the sideline right now.
Well, they played Andrzak a lot last year, and he was really even going into the season, and Berline came into his own, so he's got some experience.
Monahan is in there at fullback. This is Johnson, and Johnson is stuffed as he got to the 26-yard line, and Henry Thomas is having another big game.
Again, it's this front 3 of LSU, Wilson, Thomas, and Barbay. And Henry Thomas is going to control the center and the guard. Look at him split them right all by himself. He's going to make the play again. They double teamed him. He just knocked them both aside, split them, and made the tackle. You can't do it any better than that.
And Barbay got his money's worth too, so it's 3rd and 4 for the Irish from their own 26. This is an offense that's averaging 418 yards a ball game. Andrzak runs out of the pocket, first down. 40. Almost to midfield. Tripped up by Guidry, and Andrzak rips off one for 22 yards.
That's one of the longest runs for the Notre Dame team the entire season. It's possible that Andrzak is a better runner. He's a little quicker. You know, Berline's been maligned for his lack of foot speed. Right here, Andrzak shows he's a fine runner. He pulled the ball right down. It wasn't designed as a draw. He saw the opening, and the rest he just does on his own.
It's his longest run of the season, 22 yards, and gives Notre Dame a first down at its own 48. They'll go back to the wishbone. And the midfield and no more. That was the first down of the ball game for Notre Dame.
What was interesting about that play was all the tacklers kept diving at Andrzak at his feet. I think they thought he was just a normal quarterback who was going to dive down, but he kept running. He high-stepped about 3 of them.
And they have number 21, Aaron Robb, who is a free safety, now in at running back for Notre Dame. So Lou Holtz doing just about anything in there he can figure out to get an offense unloaded. Andrzak on the option. Got to about the 48-yard line. Loose ball. LSU has it. Andrusek coughed it up. And Lou Holtz knows his club's in trouble again, and there's Henry Thomas leading the defense off the field.
Well, they just stripped the ball from him. Terry Andrusek hasn't played much this year. He certainly hasn't run the option very often. He has this ball in the crowd, and he just doesn't put it away. Gets stripped. Henry Thomas with the recovery. Again, there you have. You have a nose guard all the way outside on that option, making the fumble recovery. Very quick.
LSU back on offense. They've got a chance really to build on their lead now, up 14-7. And Martin gets into Notre Dame territory. Check in with Tim Brando. Tim?
Lou Holtz has been known for some chicanery, and he's also been known to give his teams shock treatment over the years, i.e. Arkansas against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. He pulled his entire first-team unit offensively to shake them up. Let's go back upstairs.
Shook us up. Here's Martin. And Martin picked up a couple. Good tackle by Jeff Coons, big number 93.
Hard carry.
Martin, 5'11", 165 pounds. They alternate him with Williams at 165. At this level of football, you're not going to be able to carry the ball 20 times a game.
That's it. And that includes all his returns and kicks and his catches as a receiver. He just can't have the ball in his hands that often. He has to make them count when he does have it, and he usually does.
Fullback in there right now is Mickey Harris on 3rd and 5. Hodgson, pressure from behind. Loose ball. It looks like they got it back, but Dave Butler, number 37, got the sack.
They brought that outside backer again. They know they can't sit back and rely on just their defensive line. Dave Butler is the outside linebacker, and he came earlier on the last series and put pressure. Now it's just from the blind side. He pulled it down, gave him just enough time to hit him. They were very fortunate that wasn't a turnover because he did fumble it, but LSU recovered.
Matt DeFrank, who knocked the air out of the last one, will kick to Troy Wilson, standing at his own 10-yard line. DeFrank had a 53-yarder last time. Put some pressure on him. This one's not as good, and Wilson signals for the fair catch and takes it at the 15-yard line. 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go first half. It's LSU by 7.
If you know pickups, you know Ford. And you ought to know something else. You ought to know better than to buy a truck unless you're sold on the quality of the dealership, because you're going to live with them for a long time. Now, why do you suppose more and more people are coming from uptown, from downtown, from all down the bayous to Don Bone Ford on the West Bank? They're not just buying trucks. They're buying a dealership that works.
You know, Vern, Thanksgiving is the time of year when we should all be thankful for the things we have in life. Like an all-natural gas home. A gas home, Vern, that keeps us warm and cozy all winter long at such a low, low cost. Yeah, Vern, I'm thankful for natural gas. Shall I, Carl?
What'll it be, Vern? Light or dark?
Football in a Thanksgiving tradition. Texas A&M battles Texas live Thursday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
4:17 to go in this one. Hope you'll join us on Turkey Night. Texas A&M and Texas A&M will be trying to earn its way into the Cotton Bowl. Notre Dame's offense has gotten only 44 yards in the first half of this ball game. LSU has totally dominated. And yet the Irish are only down by 7 points. This could be 30-0.
That's just unbelievable. LSU hasn't been able to put the ball in the end zone the last 2 times, and that kickoff return was enough to keep the Irish in the game.
First unit offense back in the ball game after Lou Holtz took them all out and said, you guys aren't doing anything. Long signal count by Berline. Fakes, under pressure, going deep. And it's almost picked off. He was throwing it from Milt Jackson, and good coverage by Jefferson and Pearson back there. There's Norman Jefferson.
Well, those are 2 best defensive backs, best cover guys.
And Berline is down. He really took a shot. Got to give him credit for a lot of guts. He hung in there as long as he could before he threw it and really got it.
Well, he held it 7 or 8 seconds, and you're going to pay a price eventually. He's going to be hit by, he got hit in that play by the substitute nose guard. Number 62, Darrell Phillips, is in for Henry Thomas, who we call his name a lot of times. Right up the gut, he's going to hit him right after he releases the ball. It was a clean shot, but he really took him down. Boy, they have some nose guards at LSU.
Right in the ribs, and hopefully he just had the wind knocked out of him. Certainly not serious, and he's up running off. I think that's what happened. Of course, the way it feels is you're convinced you're going to die within 5 seconds.
The worst feeling of all time.
Yep.
And he was fortunate, really, this is natural grass, because taking a shot like that and having that concussion hit you in the back when you hit hard AstroTurf makes the hit twice as bad.
But Andrusek will check in, and that's with, to see the flak jacket under that jersey. Those things, quarterbacks love them. So do receivers. 2nd and 10. And they'll give it off to Johnson, and he just plows into the line for not much. Tommy Clapp, number 97, in on the stop.
And that ball that Berline threw earlier, he tried to force the ball deep into that double coverage, and I think that illustrates what Arnsparger is willing to do. As that LSU defensive genius that he is, he's going to put double coverage on those wideouts whenever possible. In that case, he had his 2 best cornerbacks on him. That's just smart football.
Pernell Taylor, number 46, will check into Notre Dame's backfield on 3rd and 6. Andrusek remains in there. And he wants to throw. In trouble. Got rid of it, and it's complete. Oh, what a nice catch by Jackson. Almost another interception by LSU. They gambled for the interception, and the ball somehow got through to Jackson.
Well, it's just a flood route. He's just going to roll to the right. And he's really looking for split in at this point most of the time on this play, but they have him covered. They're not going to get the ball to Brown right here, so he finds a secondary receiver, and it almost gets intercepted. Actually, you see right there, the linebacker fell down. Sancho fell down, which opened up the passing lane, or that would have been picked.
Looked like Chris Carrier could have just walked in and picked it off, and the ball went right through his hand. First down, Irish. Andrusek will remain in there. Taylor on the draw. First decent running play the Irish have had tonight, and they get up to the 47-yard line. Carrier and Sancho on the tackle for LSU.
Well, Terry Andrusek does bring something different to that offense. He is faster. We've seen it already on a run. He was able to roll out and deliver that ball late. He's much quicker than Berline. It might be advantageous for the Irish right now. It's too bad Berline got hurt, but it may be better for their offense in the end.
Andrusek leads them out. And Hiawatha Francisco, number 33, is into the ball game for the first time. This is the fullback, however, and in the backfield, stuffed. And Carl Wilson, number 72, just all over Taylor. LSU's done a great job all year with that forward wall.
Oh, you just can't run against them, and they put so much pressure when you go to pass on the passing downs. Carl Wilson, Henry Thomas, and Roland Barbet, maybe the best 3 in the country.
And they're doing it without All-American Michael Brooks, injured earlier in the year. 3rd and 2 right now. They'll go out of the wishbone, and Brown, number 81, is the guy to look for. They want him to have the ball, and he's got it. Cuts it back. And his momentum may have gotten the first down at the 49-yard line.
That was good strength.
And Jackson made the tackle. 3 of them, and he dragged them forward for that extra yard.
How can you be so fast and strong, too?
Well, he's got it all. All-American Tim Brown out of Dallas, Texas. And he's been able to carry the ball as a flanker back 51 times this year because they do line up in the wishbone. And Lou Holtz had an interesting concept for that when he was talking to us earlier. They measure for the first down, and the Irish have it. He said if the other team hasn't practiced hard enough on the wishbone and they don't defense it well enough, we'll just stay in it. We'll keep running it. Check on some other scores for you going on tonight. I think Holtz is a great thing to have happen for Notre Dame. They've been down under in the Jerry Faust era, and now you can just tell it is back to Irish football. Here is a mistake, however. Andrusek couldn't find anybody to hand it off to, and then runs it himself down to the 46-yard line. Barbet, big number 77 on the tackle.
Well, what impresses me about the job Lou Holtz has done is using his personnel. I mean, he doesn't have a great tailback, so he brings Tim Brown, uses him, and they use a ton of other people, which is making your job tough tonight because there's a ton of people playing fullback or a tailback, and that's smart coaching. Use the people you have. He inherited them. Now he'll start recruiting his own personnel, and you'll see the differences.
Yeah. Andrusek 3 carries, 29 yards on the ground. Runs the options, keeps it. The better option runner than Berline. He's down to the LSU 40. Looks like he has another first down. Caston and Carrier on the tackle. Clock has 1:10 left. And now Notre Dame will spend a timeout, and Lou Holtz will have a chance to talk to Andrzejczyk. And we'll check on Notre Dame's offense when we come back. We're in Baton Rouge with LSU leading Notre Dame 14-7.
We're not a company.
But we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it.
We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you.
As your ability for leadership grows, so will you.
Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence.
Become a person with a future.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Marines.
The Army.
The Navy.
The Air Force.
We're the armed forces.
It's a great place to start.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have Vinny Testaverde live from Miami. They ought to give him the Heisman Trophy tonight. As a matter of fact, they should have given it to him 6 weeks ago. Larry and Bino will also update all the scores, and we'll end some of that bowl speculation, give you some of the matchups. There's still a lot of things up in the air, including the 2 teams we have tonight. LSU hoping to get into the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame needs to win, and win their last game against USC. They could go bowling.
They should pass here. They got to put the ball in the air.
Only 1:10 left. Andrzejczyk running out of the pocket. 35, forced out of bounds at the 33-yard line, chased out by Eric Hill. That'll stop the clock with 1:02 left.
Good speed there to get there also. He is so much quicker, and he has a good explosion. He almost runs like a back. We've seen him break a couple tackles tonight already.
Hasn't thrown the ball much this year, only 10 out of 21. No touchdowns and an interception. Some NBA scores to update you on. Busy time of the year. 2nd and 3. 4-man rush, good protection. Andrzejczyk over the middle, almost picked off by Carrier. He was throwing it for Joel Williams, and Carrier, who has 4 interceptions this year, just got there a fraction late.
Well, they've been very fortunate, the Irish have been tonight. LSU came into the game with 23 interceptions, and they are tough. This should have been another one. They've dropped about 3 or 4 tonight. That should have been a pick.
Oh. Yeah,
they are all over. They are tough to throw the ball against in sure passing situations. That's why they have so many interceptions.
Boy, Carrier knew he should have had it too. 3rd and 3, 57 seconds left. Notre Dame has 2 timeouts left. They'll run the option. Banks diving forward to the 29-yard line. He's got the first down, and they'll use another timeout. Excuse me, no, they won't. They stopped the clock to move the chains, and Lou Holtz did not want a timeout at that point. Clock showing 52. And now it restarts. Andrzejczyk on the roll. Throws. That should have been out of bounds, and it is. A complete pass, but out of bounds to Reggie Ward out of Long Beach.
They did a nice job. Reggie Ward, number 83, makes his catch, but he is out of bounds. He tried to keep his feet down, but he didn't quite make it.
Well, he had a choice. He could keep his feet down or he could catch it.
It was one or the other. He wasn't going to come down with the catch either way.
Need to be the size of Manute Bowl to catch it and keep your legs inbound. 2nd and 10, 46 seconds to go. The Irish have been totally dominated, and yet they have a chance to tie up this ballgame. Banks, the only back left. Somebody move. One of the Irish receivers jumped. Pass will be complete to Brown. He's driven out of bounds at the 14-yard line. But it was the jump over here by Johnson, who went out as a flanker, that's going to cost him 5 yards. Johnson, the tailback, took a step about a second and a half before the ball was snapped.
He improved his 40-yard dash time on it, though.
What was your 40-yard dash time, by the way?
Never slower than 4.6. Never faster than 4.6. Had it in my
Just
contract.
a model of consistency.
Downhill.
4.6.
That's into the wind. I always claim 4.6 into the
Illegal
wind.
motion against the offense. Repeat, second down.
They want our producer, John Wildhack, at his 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Really?
He went to Syracuse. He can't add.
4.6. They want linebackers to run faster than that, don't
You're
they?
right. That's why I'm up here in the booth.
Yeah.
They run 4.5. The defensive linemen run 4.6 now.
2nd and 15 now for Notre Dame. Andrzak dumps it off to his tight end, Andy Heck, and Heck is down to the 33-yard line. They'll mark it now way up at the 31, and Notre Dame will call a timeout with 32 seconds to go.
Tim Brown hasn't been able to get the ball very much tonight, but he's open on this play. But Andrzak doesn't find him. Now the problem right now, he is wide open. But if Andrzak doesn't hit him right now, it'll give the safety, Chris Carrier, enough time to get into the picture, which you won't see. So that's a timing route. He has to find that seam in a hurry.
That's what Brown is averaging, 20.8 yards a catch. Our coverage of CFA football will continue on Thanksgiving night when one of college football's great rivalries is renewed for the 93rd time. Will be in Austin, Texas. The Aggies and the Longhorns. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Chris Berman, Larry Burnett, and Bino Cook host the Mercury College Football Scoreboard Show. And on Saturday night, ESPN serves up a live doubleheader. Our first game, Brigham Young and San Diego State, both teams with a shot at winning the WAC championship. And then we're off to Tokyo. Not us specifically, but somebody will be there for the Coca-Cola Bowl between Stanford and Arizona. Our coverage begins at 7 Eastern on that one for the Hartford Insurance Group College Football Report.
Are you out of breath?
We can't get to Tokyo, can we?
No, we can't make it.
No, not from San Diego. Not that quick. 32 seconds left, 3rd and 13 for the Irish. Change the formation around. Berline is back in at quarterback. Three-man rush. And behind the intended receiver, he was looking for Milt Jackson and missed it badly that time. So it'll bring up a 4th down situation as Berline misfires, and they'll bring on John Carney, who has hit 8 straight field goals after missing a couple of heartbreakers earlier in the season.
Well, they had no one else to go to on that play. They took Tim Brown out of the play with the linebacker, Mike. Just hammered him at the line of scrimmage.
This will be a 49-yard attempt. That is his long field goal this year out of Berline's hold. Whistles blow. Carney hit it straight through, had an extra 5 yards, but there is a flag down.
LSU is offsides. The question is, they blew it before the kick, though, so they'll have a 44-yard attempt now.
Or
no, he won't get. I don't think he'll get an option.
You've got a first down.
No, they don't have a first down.
No,
it's 4th
you're right.
and 13.
You're right.
So he'll have to.
So it'll only make it 4th and 8. This is very interesting because they blew the ball or blew the whistle before the ball was snapped.
He's going to have to kick it again.
Yeah, they've got to take the penalty. It's an automatic.
That was a beautiful kick.
He crushed it. 49-yarder, had an extra 7 or 8 yards on it.
That's one of the few penalties a coach will compliment you on. Your own coach won't yell at you for being offside.
Ball. Illegal for offside against the defense. Contact. Replay, 4th down.
So tough break for Carney. He's got to do it from 44 yards this time. And if the bad Irish luck holds, he'll miss it, and he does. What a tough break for John Carney. You kick a 49-yarder, the other team is offside. You have to take the penalty, and then you miss from 44. That's the 1986 season for Notre Dame.
Carney's just going to pull this kick. He hit it long again. He had plenty of power. Just got into it a little early, stepped in front of it, and pulled it. He knew as soon as he hit it, he went to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
That's so frustrating for a kicker and for a team. Already tonight, 2 fumbles that should have been theirs. called in LSU's favor.
But they recovered both of them. So LSU will have the ball with 15 seconds to go, and it looks like the Tigers are going to be content to run it out as Jean-Baptiste goes straight up the middle.
And it's tough enough just to survive their schedule, but Notre Dame continues having the bad breaks.
They play by far the most difficult schedule in the country. Of course, Lou Holtz knew it when he came here, that he was going to have to deal with very difficult, tough academic standards, a tremendous schedule, but he'll get it done. That's the end of the first half here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and LSU has totally dominated the ball game, and they have a 14-7 halftime lead as Bill Arnsparger walks off the field to the cheers of a sellout crowd.
So a tight game going on in Baton Rouge. Back here at the ESPN studios, Bino Cook will be joining me on the MetLife Halftime Report. We'll run down the top 20 scores. We'll be talking live with Miami Hurricanes quarterback Vinny Testaverde.
They continue shutting out Brown, then I think they're going to stop the Irish's attack.
Two schools of thought on that. Some coaches like to take away a superstar, and you can if you devote enough people to it. And Bill Arnsparger has done it with Brown, and he's done it very successfully. The one place that it's tough to keep it away from somebody is on the kickoff unless you squib kick. He got one, went 96 yards with it, almost broke another one.
Well, the only reason, really, a lot of it's not one coach being better than another coach, it's personnel. And LSU is able to double team Brown all over the field, basically because of that front line of theirs. They put so much pressure with Wilson, Thomas, and Barbay that they can afford a double team.
There is Brown, who has drastically improved his kickoff return average in this ballgame. He's averaging 25.4, added a 96-yarder to that one. Lewis will kick off. Brown waits at the 5. Lewis got all of this one and will drive Brown back into the end zone over his head and out of the end line, and that's the way to keep him from returning a kickoff. Take a look at how Notre Dame did for it. Now, the kickoff return will not show up on this possession chart. The first 2 times Notre Dame had the ball, it was 3 plays and punt. Then they had it for 5 plays, but fumbled it away. And on the last possession of the half for them, they had a heartbreaking missed field goal after they kicked one from 49 yards. And then a penalty, which they had to take, made them try again from 44 yards, and they missed. So we have a 14-7 score. And Berline, who was only 1 out of 5 for 4 yards, brings them out. In front of him, he's got Banks and Johnson. And it's Banks about the 23-yard line. Berline owns just about every offensive record for Notre Dame. He has set records in attempts passing Blair Keel, completions passing Terry Hanratty, total yards and total offense. Both of those records formerly held by Joe Theismann.
And most impressively, he hasn't thrown an interception now in well over 100 passes. And that was what plagued him throughout his career earlier. And that's really the influence of Lou Holtz. He brought in a new offense and used his strengths as a quarterback.
2nd and 7 for the Irish. Johnson. Little delay. Kept his feet near the 30-yard line. It'll be very close to a first down. Caston and Mickey Hazard, number 48, were in on the stop. Nicky Hazard out of New Orleans has had a bad ankle and finally getting back to being healthy. There's number 48. He played very well in that opening game that we had with Texas A&M, but when you have a bad ankle, it makes it difficult to play. There's the scoreboard update for you. NHL. And it is 3rd and about an inch for the Irish. They'll go to the wishbone. Berline on the sneak and got across the 30. He'll have the first down.
Every single play that the Irish break the huddle and they go to the line of scrimmage, they're putting people and they're doubling Tim Brown all over the field. Whether they hit him at the line of scrimmage and use a linebacker or they put a safety or 2 corners on him, they are not leaving him alone. No matter what formation the Irish come into, they got 2 guys on him. They have it again right now.
A good way to do it. 1st and 10. Here comes the reverse to Brown. They'll try to get him free that way. Brown across the 40, 45, 47-yard line. Where there's a will, there's a way. And Lou Holtz said, you want to double them on one side of the field? I'll get them over to the other.
And they actually did a good job on this. LSU really put a good defensive positioning on this play, but it's just his athletic ability. Here it is. They fake the option the other way, go back to Brown to get him away from that double coverage. Now it's up to him to run, and he's in the field. Look at that. Broke a tackle there. Outruns two defenders here. They just got to get the ball in his hands. I'd run him more at tailback.
Hazard number 48 had to bring him down. It's a first down at the 46-yard line. They're still in the wishbone. Burline on the keeper. And Burline is dragged down by Oliver Lawrence, who trailed the play. Burline is not the swiftest quarterback in college football. There's Brown back in the ball game. Had him out for a play. 3 carries as a flanker or in the wishbone. 21 yards.
Good time for a play action right here. Got to try to hold those linebackers, LSU, and get the ball to Brown or the other wide receiver.
2nd and 9 out of the eye. Burline play action. Time to throw, going deep. Looking for Brown. He's open. And he dropped it. Brown had it in his hands and dropped it at the 3-yard line. He's double covered, and that's the 2nd time he's gotten behind the secondary. Both were almost touchdowns.
Well, really, the key to this play is they ran that play action, so they didn't get much pressure from the linebackers or anyone else on Burline. Burline had time to set back and really let this ball fly, and this should have been a touchdown. They didn't get a good hit on him. They let him go free, and he's just so fast. He outruns the secondary, gets behind Chris Carrier, number 11, right there. He should have taken that ball away, and it's dropped. That should have been a touchdown. He absolutely outran Chris Carrier. The safety never expected it.
Burline thinks he's got a touchdown because he's not going to believe that Brown's going to drop the ball. So it's 3rd and 9. Pressure, and it's knocked out of his hand. That'll go as an incomplete pass. Burline just trying to dump it off, and somebody got a piece of it. And it's Roland Barbet, I believe, who was applying the pressure.
They're trying to throw a crossing route here, and he just holds the ball too long. The guy's not going to come free. Eventually, LSU starts to put some pressure on him. He goes to throw this ball, and he gets it pulled down. Roland Barbet in there again.
Sorensen will come in to punt.
And that could have been a fumble, by the way, because he didn't even attempt to follow through.
Norman Jefferson, and Sorensen gets off another awful kick off the side of his foot, and it takes a bad bounce. And the senior is just having a tough night. That one went for 19 yards. LSU will come onto the field on offense, and their first 2 possessions in the first half were their best 2 offensive shows. Long drives, 11 and 17 yards, both for touchdowns. Then they got a missed field goal. The next 2 times they had the ball, they had to punt, and then the half ran out. They had got it back with about 15 seconds left. 12:04 to go, 3rd quarter. This is Hodson, who was brilliant in the first half. Barely hassled at all by the Notre Dame pass rush. Williams hit hard as he crossed the 30.
One reason they were stopped those last 2 drives is they didn't go to the early down passing game. They went to the running game, and Notre Dame stopped them, and they weren't able to get the ball downfield with their throwing game, and they've got to go back to that. They can't keep running every 1st and 2nd down.
Figaro in on that last stop. Going to be a 2nd and 7 for LSU. Hodson talking to Williams. Now they'll run a split back set with Garland Jean-Baptiste, number 44, also in there. Fake the draw to him. And overthrown, intended for Kinchin around the 50-yard line.
Wally Klein, number 96, right in the middle of your screen, right there. He's their big rush guy. He's huge. He's 6'7", 6'9", actually. And finally, they get a little bit of pressure on him. He had to at least he pushes the quarterback, but Hodson just tosses him right to the ground. No problem. 280 pounds.
Swatted a building on wheels. 3rd and 7. Hodson straight back, 3-man rush. Klein almost got him again. He dumps it off. It's complete to Williams, but it'll be well short of the 1st down.
You're right, Mike. Klein put pressure on him again.
By Gordon out there.
That pressure, though, by Klein on both of those plays, it disrupted the passing game.
So LSU will have to kick it away. And DeFrank will be kicking to Brown. It's the first time he's returned punts this year. DeFrank's had a couple of good ones tonight.
The snapper, Chris Carrier, of course, is their free safety, and he is an excellent cover guy. He gets down on a lot of punts.
Low line drive this time. Brown might have a chance to bring this one back. 25, 34-yard line. Big return by Brown. 18 yards after a low 43-yard kick. They're doing something different on Carrier, though.
Well, you're worried. He's the fastest cover guy ever at center. Look at it. They bury him here. They almost hold him. They could have called it. They let him go. Nice acting job. But Carrier will still get in on this play. He makes a lot of tackles. Last week, he snapped the ball and actually recovered a fumble after making the tackle.
We've got a timeout in Baton Rouge. 10:36 to go. Third quarter. LSU 14, Notre Dame 7.
Smile. The easy goes to 35 for pictures that become alive. 35 millimeter, it's easy. Kodak Beyond 35. Ta-da!
You just drop the film in. It almost loads itself. Then aim and shoot.
Have you ever seen a sharper baby picture? I have.
Whichever one you want to choose, we've got the 35 for you. Kodak Beyond 35.
It's a great shot.
Nothing to it.
Fate belongs to Michelob.
Notre Dame at LSU is brought to you by AC Delco. Stay ahead of trouble with AC Delco parts. And by Braun Electric Shavers. Braun, designed to perform better.
10 minutes, 36 seconds left to go from a sold-out Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. 78,197 the official attendance tonight. So we've got about 600 standing room. Beautiful facility, great football fans. First and 10, Notre Dame. They're down by a touchdown, third quarter. Up top, Burline threw it behind. Carrier almost intercepted.
They gave it to him.
Oh, they said he caught it. And now the official that had a better angle comes in and said it was trapped, and it was definitely trapped. The crowd doesn't like it, but we had a pretty good angle on it from up here, and it bounced into Chris Carrier's arm.
Nice job of acting by Chris Carrier here, though. Again, they dodged another bullet. I hate to use a cliche, but there have been a lot of balls that could have been intercepted had that been a little higher. He did not hold on to it. He got his hands under. He made a nice play to get his hands under,
but it went through and hit the ground.
That's 4 or 5 balls that defensive backs have dropped for LSU tonight.
The Burline streak is still intact. You see 110 straight without an interception. 2nd and 10. Dumps it off, and Heck almost intercepted again. Andy Heck had it and lost it, and then Nicky Hazard had it and lost it. And Lou Holtz is not happy about the way things are going.
Well, here's another one. As a receiver, you don't want to just tip the ball up like this. He's got to try to get his hand over the tip of that ball, to at least knock it down so he can catch it. And this should have been another interception. But he makes a nice play to knock it out of Hazard's hands.
Well, we've said so many times Notre Dame hasn't had any breaks, but they've been getting them in this ball game right now.
That's seriously at least 6 balls that could have been intercepted tonight. It's just absolutely incredible that there hasn't been a pick yet.
Burline now only 1 out of 9, 4 yards, and he has missed 7 straight. Third down here. The Irish have to get something started. Burline to run. Got the first down and plenty more. And slides in safe at midfield under Hazard. Good play by Burline. They got the deep linebacker drop and just took off.
Well, the reason that play worked is they were doubling the outside receivers. They had their safeties out of the middle, doubling with their cornerbacks. The linebackers were also dropping back, half of them in the zone, the other in a man-to-man coverage, and there was absolutely no one there. Had they put in a quarterback draw for this game, they'd be golden.
Burline, even with all his records, has been much maligned at Notre Dame. The one thing you can't question is his heart. First and 10, Irish near midfield. Burline on the action will toss it back to Francisco. Francisco across midfield. There's a young man who's come back from a damaging knee injury, and let's check in with Larry Burnett for a scoreboard update.
It is all over at the Rose Bowl. Here's the kind of a night it was for USC. UCLA has the ball late in the first half. Matt Stevens just puts this one up for grabs into the end zone. Watch him play pinball when it gets into the end zone. It ends up in the hands of Carl Durrell. UCLA went on to win by the score of 45-25. Gaston Green rushed for 224 yards.
Oh, did UCLA want to lay it on or what?
I've never seen a Hail Mary pass thrown when you're beating a team already by 18 points
right.
or whatever.
Hey, we've got a timeout. Tim Brando's down on the sideline, and he has one of the great quarterbacks that ever played college or pro, Burt Jones.
You know, Mike and Pat, when the last time Notre Dame and LSU met at night in '71, it was your coming out party, the Ruston Rifle, 28-8. You must have fond memories of that game.
It really did. It seems like another night just like tonight. The crowd was going wild. It was a good game. Tough fought. Threw a lot to my cousin, Tommy Casanova. They were all here today. It was kind of like a family reunion.
You're talking of Andy Hamilton, your cousin, who was on the receiving end so many times in that game. Let's talk about the noise factor for opposing quarterbacks. Berline may have been affected a bit tonight by that. It is something for the opposing quarterbacks to deal with, isn't it?
It is, but they have a pretty good noise factor in South Bend. But this, without a doubt, in all the stadiums that I played in across the country, is the loudest, hardest place to play if you're an opponent, I would think.
Tommy Hodson is a quarterback as a freshman. How do you grade him?
He's doing just a tremendous job. He shows poise in the pocket. He moves around well. He sees the blitz coming. He gets the ball to the receivers in the zone. He does everything right.
Bert, I know you well, and for a long time, I know you're no good, really no good with easy opening cans, so I got you a soda pop and a Dixie cup.
Hey, thank you, Tim. I still need to practice, huh?
LC, where are you? Mike, Pat.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Bert.
What a player he was, Mike.
Nice man, a great player.
Oh, if he hadn't had back problems, he would still be playing in the NFL. Probably through the prettiest pass I've ever seen.
When he was at Baltimore, he was on the verge of being the best player maybe the game had ever seen. 2nd and 9. Berline against the four-man rush. Dumps it off. Banks and Hazard will get him at the 45-yard line. And Tom Freeman, number 65, out there trying to block and couldn't contain the man.
You can't set this play up any better, and you can't take away a receiver as well as any better than LSU's doing to Tim Brown right now. He's going to come out the line of scrimmage. He's going to get hit. They're not going to let him just run free. Right there, you can see another Caston's coming in, gives him another shot. Both of those were illegal, by the way. They're downfield too far. The officials didn't see it. And now Carrier comes up and he blocks Carrier. He's a busy man out there.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Taylor at fullback. Berline gets it out to Brown, and he's got the first down at the LSU 35-yard line. Jefferson ran him out of bounds, but Berline was on the money that time.
One way to get a receiver open is to put him in a twins formation. He has another receiver clearing for him underneath. Right here, he'll follow underneath, who takes the double coverage away from him. They manage to get the ball quickly to him again. The only way to get the ball to Tim Brown is to beat those double coverages with speed, with the throw and timing, and that was perfect.
That was Brown's first catch of the night. He has been open on 2 bombs. One was slightly overthrown that Berline threw about 55 yards in the air. The other he dropped at the 3-yard line. DeJuan Francisco, 32 in the ball game. He's blocking right now for Berline, who's in trouble. Berline somehow managed to avoid the sack and is driven out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Big Henry Thomas chased him down. Thomas has had a good ball game.
He's just all over the field. Well, he really has. We've seen him again. This is the 3rd time, and he controls the center. He's so good at taking away the run up the middle. He throws the center aside, and then he laterally, he goes all over the field, and he is tired. And he deserves to be tired. He chased Berline about 50 yards there all around the field. That's why he's so effective. He not only neutralizes the center, he also has great pursuit.
Sure does. Last time we saw him, he played a great ball game. 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 2. Another big 3rd down for Notre Dame. Berline under pressure. Hazard missed him. He throws deep sideline and just threw that one away. Brown had 3 men on it. And Hazard may have hurt himself trying to catch him. Hazard up and going off under his own power, so it's going to be 4th down now for Notre Dame. Excuse me, 3rd and 13. Hazard will come out of the ball game. It's probably the bad ankle.
He's been banged up all year, and they've been fortunate that Darren Malborough, number 90's come in and played very well for him. In fact, they had, coming in this game, 54 tackles for Hazard and 53 for Malborough, and that's the kind of support you need from a backup.
6 out of 10 in conversions for Lou Holtz, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 3rd and 13 right now. Dump it over the middle to Brown. Nice move to get away, but he can't get away from Jefferson. The flag goes down. They're going to get Jefferson for a face mask, I believe, and that is going to give Notre Dame a 1st down.
If he hadn't got a hold of his face guard, he would have broke that, though. I mean, not that he did it intentionally. He grabbed something.
Now LSU indicates it is not against them, although Jefferson still doesn't look happy.
Brown almost broke that play big.
Sure
though.
did. And it looks like Notre Dame has adjusted a little bit. They're going to run him under now and try to get him the ball and let him break it.
Well, you got a player like that. If you have 2 shots at big touchdowns, you got to hit at least one of them, and they missed 2 so far tonight. So
Bill Arnsparger upset, and it is a clip and a face mask, so you've got offsetting penalties.
Right on the right side of your screen, Juan Francisco, 32, is going to push him from behind right there. And now, I couldn't see the face mask.
I haven't seen it yet either.
It just looked like he got the back of his pads
right.
to me.
But he may have come back with that other hand in front and got it. Bill Arnsparger doesn't think so. But it means the play is wiped out, and it's still 3rd and 13 for Notre Dame with 7:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the crowd here at LSU, always a factor, wants to be right now. Take the draw. Burline in trouble. Guns it. Complete. It's Reggie Ward, number 83.
That was an excellent throw.
And a good catch, too.
Oh, off his back foot, but he put it right where you want. Low, let the receiver dive and catch that ball. Defensive line put a lot of heat on him again. They're all around him. He stood in the pocket, Now he's going to throw this ball. Oh, they're still around him. Yeah. 2 or 3 guys just kind of nicked him, but that's just an excellent throw. He managed to throw it sidearm around the defenders. Nice grab by Reggie Ward right there.
Burline, 4 out of 13, 38 yards. Gets it out to Cobb, and Cobb is tripped up on a great tackle by Guidry.
Ooh, he gambled on that play. Had he missed that tackle, it was 6 points the other way.
Aaron Robb just cut down by Guidry, who came up, got the ankle.
Now, when you're one-on-one like this is what Notre Dame wanted to get in this play. It's a one-on-one, and Guidry's going to just take his feet right out from under him, right here. He breaks that tackle at 6 points. What a tackle. You can do it one-on-one like that. You can play the kind of secondary defensive maneuvers that LSU is doing tonight.
Great play by Guidry, and it's 2nd and 13 as they lost 3 on that play. Juan Francisco is the tailback. They fake it to him on the draw. Burline throws and off target, trying to go for his tight end Joel Williams, and he missed him. And Burline really upset about it because Williams was open.
Well, the one receiver that's generally open when you are double teaming the outside receivers is that tight end. I'm surprised they haven't gone to him more and gone to him more often.
Well, the 2 tight ends that they've used, Williams and Heck, have only caught 14 passes between them all season. It's less than 2 a game together. And it's 3rd and 13. The nickel package is in for the LSU defense. Brown is the man in motion. Comes the blitz.
Tight end.
And they get it out to the tight end to the 14-yard line. Williams makes the catch. DeWitt brings him down. Mike is the nickelback, the senior.
Joel Williams is open on this play basically because there you can see right in the corner. Brown came in. He's going to go deep. He's going to take the defenders, and it's just a foot race between Williams and the defender, and he just has a step on him. It's a nice throw. They didn't pick up the first down, but they need to do more of that. Get to that tight end in a hurry.
4th and 4, and they will go for the field goal. It will be a 31-yard attempt by John Carney, who missed from 44. Remember, he made one from 49, but they had to take that one off the board. He had made 8 straight before the miss. And Carney is true on this one. Notre Dame has cut the lead to 4 points with 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Lou Holtz welcoming the kicking unit. And we'll be back with more from the third quarter in Baton Rouge right after this.
You might get caught out in the middle of nowhere with a dead battery, but I won't. This is a Delco maintenance-free battery, and when this green eye is showing, it means I've got all the starting power I need, up to 770 cranking amps. If you think your battery's fading fast, I'd start thinking Delco.
Now through January 3rd, get a $5 rebate on most Delco batteries. See a participating AC Delco retailer for details.
Never wait for trouble.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
From the low price of new Chevy S10 EL, new towing power of Chevy Astro, new fuel-injected 350 V8 power available in every full-size Chevy, America knows nothing works like a Chevy truck.
We're in the third quarter at LSU. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and Notre Dame has made it a 4-point ball game.
You've got to give credit to their defense. Lou Holtz and his staff. Coach Fazio, you know he wasn't going to coach Fazio, he wasn't going to sit there and just let him throw the ball. Fazio wasn't going to let him throw it. He came in there. They've changed a little of their alignment. They're blitzing more. They're just not letting Hodson sit back there and throw the ball. You've got to hand it to them. They've kept him in the game.
Sammy Martin deep to receive, along with Eddie Fuller, number 33. Carney to kick off. Good floating kick, and Martin at the 3. Dangerous kick return, man. But not this time. Loose ball.
Another one out of bounds. That's
and
two
it's
tonight.
out of bounds.
Harvey Williams had one earlier. They just bounce right out of bounds when they lose it. Sammy Martin's very fortunate here that they didn't lose this ball in a big turnover. He had nowhere to go. He doesn't tuck that ball away. He gets hit from the blind side right there, but it forces the ball out of bounds again. And it just dead right there.
And Sammy Martin is injured. I think I did say Sammy Martin on the return and not Harvey Williams. If I said Harvey Williams,
no, earlier. Harvey Williams ran around end. I wasn't correcting you. Harvey Williams ran around end, got hit, knocked it right out of bounds the same way.
Okay. And Sam Martin looks like he's going to be all right. We've got 5:43 to go third quarter. Don't go away.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat.
When you want to feel the thunder, put yourself in today's Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z and listen to your heartbeat.
The heartbeat of America. Today, Chevrolet.
At Braun, we believe simple is better than complicated. Order is better than confusion. Quiet is better than loud. Only through superior design can one achieve superior performance. It is this philosophy that has helped make Braun the #1 selling foil shaver in the world. What's also helped is that no other shaver gives you a closer shave. Braun, now available in America.
Notre Dame quarterback Steve Berline talks about college football.
There's a lot of pressure that goes along with being a major college football player, especially when your team isn't doing too well. But the great players are the ones that can put that pressure out of their mind when they step on the field on Saturday afternoon in front of 60,000 screaming fans and just do what they do best, play the game. To me, that's when I found I have the most fun, and having fun is what the game of football is all about.
The preceding message has been brought to you by the College Football Association.
LSU, a team that scored on its first 2 possessions, now clinging to a 4-point lead over Notre Dame, and the Tigers have the ball at their own 18. Hodson, who's cooled off after a sizzling start. Play action. Rifles this one, picked off. Picked off by Lawrence. And Lawrence driven out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Steve Lawrence with his second interception of the season. Puts Notre Dame in a position to go ahead.
Lawrence just gambled on this. They ran this play earlier, LSU did, with 49. Tension is going to go out. Hodson doesn't see the safety take the ball away here. They're going to the tight end. Pick right there. He set himself right between the two receivers, Davis, and just took it away.
Great play by Lawrence, and it sets Notre Dame up at the LSU 2-yard line after a 27-yard interception return. First turnover of the ball game for LSU. Brown, number 81, is in there in the wishbone. Instead, they'll give it to the fullback, and Taylor gets to the 1. Caston was the first man to hit him. Lawrence is also in there.
LSU simply has done nothing offensively since those first 2 drives.
They sure haven't. And Roland Barbet at the bottom of the pile along with. There's Martin, who we saw flat on his back in the center of the field. He's all right now. Second and goal from the 1. Lou Holtz looks on. His team has a chance to go ahead. Got Mark Green, number 24, in there. Taylor. No signal of a touchdown. He is very, very close. Taylor, 216 pounds, a senior out of La Puente, California. And he didn't make it. LSU claiming they have the football. Of course, in those piles, anything can happen.
LSU's big defensive line coming in play. They're going to all submarine. They're going to take the lineman out of the play and then come with their backers and hit him right there. Knock him back with that defensive line getting underneath. Wilson, Thomas, Barbet again. They took out the lineman. Caston and Hazard came in and made the play. That's perfect execution of goal line defense.
Third and goal. Taylor has gained 2 yards on 2 carries. Green. He didn't make it. Caston comes over the top and nailed it. What a great play by Toby Caston.
This is Toby Caston's job. That's what he's supposed to do. Again, the defensive line, they submerge, they get underneath, they take it away, and Caston, right here, Caston's just going to time his jump perfectly and stop him in midair. Oh, that's just, again, excellent, excellent execution. You can't draw it up. You can't play it any better than LSU's doing right now.
Fourth and goal from the 1. They'll go for it. Alonzo Jefferson, number 3, checks in the backfield. He's the deep man in the eye. Fake to Jefferson. Burline on the option to Brown, and they didn't make it.
Again, it's the 3rd consecutive play. They played it perfectly. They're going to take away the belly. He wouldn't have scored. Now they're going to take away the quarterback. Burline wouldn't have got it. He had to pitch it outside. Nowhere to go for Brown. They had 2 or 3 guys over there. You know, you talk about offense executing. That's perfect defense.
It was a great play by Rehaj. And Lou Holtz did not like what he saw. LSU will go to the ground, try to get some extra yardage out here, and it's Jean-Baptiste out to the 11-yard line. Let's check in with Tim Brando. Tim?
Gentlemen, history does repeat. I was born and bred in Louisiana. I remember it well. 1971 the year. Warren Capone, the anchor of that defense. Tom Clements, the quarterback of Notre Dame, inside the 2-yard line. They had 4 cracks at the west end and didn't get in. It has happened again a decade and 5 years later.
History does tend to repeat. Well, Jean-Baptiste got 5. They'll give it to him again. Not much this time. Weisenhofer 36 and Klein 96 on the tackle. LSU, the first 2 times it had the ball, drove for 155 yards on offense and 2 touchdowns. Since then, they've only had 77 yards the rest of the ball game. And like you said, Pat, the Notre Dame defense did make a heck of an adjustment.
Coach Fazio, the defensive coordinator, they brought him in from Pittsburgh. And he was a coach at Harvard, by the way, so I'm embarrassed I mispronounced his name. But he's made all kinds of adjustments, including that interception where they decided to use a free safety to double on the tight end and take the ball away.
3rd and 2. And Hodgson wants to throw for it. To Jean-Baptiste, almost almost intercepted, and it was Cedric Figueroa. He knocked it down and almost picked it off for 6.
Well, Figueroa is a big player. He's made a lot of plays for him, like you said earlier. 7 fumble recoveries. He's got a lot of sacks. He makes a lot of plays. They bring him in. Hodson just doesn't get the ball over him right here. He's got a receiver open, trying to drop it off. What a jump. He's an excellent athlete.
And now DeFrank, backed up in his own end zone, will have to punt it out of there. And Brown is waiting at the Notre Dame 45. Fumbled snap. And DeFrank is still going to be able to get out of there. What a great job by Matt DeFrank, and Brown will make a fair catch at the 45. No pressure on him whatsoever, and they dodged another ball.
This was a missile here. Well, that was an excellent snap. He should not have dropped this. First of all, he took his eye off it. Snaps right there by Chris Carrier. He just drops it, but he does have the presence of mind now here. Pick it up, little fake, little run here, and now he blasts this ball. Absolute net punt. You don't practice that, believe me. Not as a punter. You don't practice.
We've got a timeout with 1:56 left in the third quarter in a 4-point ball game.
Summer, time to do fun things like painting your house. If that's not your idea of having fun, let Ward Roofing and Vinyl Siding install Gold Bond vinyl siding on your home. With a lifetime guarantee, you'll never have to paint again or worry about rotting, peeling, or mildew. And with Ward Roofing and Vinyl Siding's no money down and low affordable terms, you can really enjoy this summer. Call Ward Roofing and Vinyl Siding at 362-1515 for a free estimate.
Buying a new Girard Chevrolet? Oh, I wish I could. Do you have a good job? Oh, sure. Well, then how's your credit? Pretty good, I guess. Then Girard's got a new car for you. For me? Listen, Girard's the #1 Chevy seller in Louisiana because they give you low prices, high trade-ins, and superb service. But best of all, they've got low-cost Girard financing. I could really buy a Girard Chevrolet. Tell them, Ralph.
We've been satisfying Chevy buyers here in New Orleans for 35 years. And our special finance plan can help you buy.
It's the heartbeat of New Orleans.
Tonight, former world welterweight champion Milt McCrory continues his comeback in a battle with Jorge Amparo, live on ESPN.
1:56 left, third quarter. LSU 14, Notre Dame 10. That last goal line stand, by the way, was the 12th time this year that LSU had stopped an opponent inside the 10-yard line. Furlan wants to go deep, can't find anybody. Now he takes off. Midfield. Stayed on his feet, got very close to the first down. Furlan to the LSU 44. Hazard and Hill chased him down, but a good play by Furlan.
The Notre Dame offense finding themselves in a position they're very familiar to this year. They should have a lead in this game. There's no question. They've had a lot of opportunities inside the 20-yard line. They haven't converted. They had a field goal call back that they actually made. It's got to be frustrating for them.
They have moved the ball well all year. In fact, Pittsburgh is the only team that has outgained them in total yards this season, and when you consider the crushing schedule they play, it's incredible. But they've had trouble getting the ball in the end zone. This time they'll give it off to Alonzo Jefferson, the tailback, #3, his first carry. And Hill will make the stop. Good run by Jefferson.
Well, Henry Thomas, who we've ISO'd a lot, is out now. 62, Gerald Phillips is in. And Alonzo wins this battle. He takes him out all by himself and opens that hole.
He buried him.
Alonzo Jefferson is one of 5 tailbacks, or 6 tailbacks that have played today.
Yeah, they've all been in there, haven't they? He'll get it again, same play, but a different result. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and it was Hazard, #48, who filled the hole.
Well, Henry Thomas is back in the game. He took a one-play break. They got Phillips out. Thomas is back in. Watch him take this play. He'll handle the center all by himself again and make the play. He is just exceptional. You know, you ISO people, and you just can't believe when they do it time after time, and he has.
Thomas had the ankles. Hazard came over the top, and there's the total yards. And you can see LSU has done absolutely nothing in the second half. The 2nd and 10 situation for Furlan. Pump fake, then throws complete. Got Jackson inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Sancho and Hill, 54 on the stop. Milt Jackson's quite a story. He missed all of last year with a mysterious illness. I still don't think they know what it was, but he lost a lot of weight, couldn't sleep. The young man came back and has been a big contributor this year to Notre Dame. That is the end of the third quarter here in Baton Rouge. Our score, LSU 14, Notre Dame 10.
Fact. Without money, many of the best things in life are unattainable. Fact. You insure to protect. You invest to grow. When you're not sure where to invest, knowing about Kemper helps. Ask a securities broker about the investment products of Kemper Financial Services. Mutual funds, money market funds, unit trusts, life insurance and annuities, real estate. Kemper Financial Services, a concern for your future.
Out here, this is my office, and a day's work is a lot more than just putting in time.
Professional truck driver Ken Harrison.
There's just no way you can spend 40 or 50 hours a week behind the wheel and not think safety every minute. You could drive the same road every day, and every day to be different. Different traffic, different weather, different situations. You got to think about them all, because when you get right down to it, they don't pay me to drive. They pay me to deliver safely.
Beer in recyclable glass bottles keeps it cool for a long, long time. And pure glass protects the taste of your beer. Enjoy it cold and true, knowing that the good things that come in glass come just as their maker intended. Brought to you by the people who make glass containers naturally.
Load up with the legend, Winchester.
15 minutes of football to go. 3rd and 3. Notre Dame at the LSU 28-yard line. Berline has gotten hot after an awful start. Draw play. Banks to the 25. Very, very close to the first down. It will depend on the spot. And where the official is stopped, looks like it will be just shy. And bring up a decision for Lou Holtz. And the officials are going to measure. Notre Dame has used more running backs tonight at that tailback spot. Johnson, Green, Jefferson, the Francisco brothers, and Robb. And Robb is listed as a safety.
Tim Brown.
The only one they haven't used is McAnally.
Because they want to win.
And it is a first down. That is 7 first downs for Notre Dame in this half. LSU has no first downs. Here's some score updates for you. And Iowa has come back to take the lead over Minnesota in the 4th quarter. Check in on some other scores, see if your favorite team is in there. Notre Dame has dominated the second half, and they have cut it from 14-7 to 14-10. They could very easily have the lead. Of course, in the first half, they could have very easily been blown out. This is Francisco down to the 24-yard line. And coming up from the secondary was Rehaj. And Notre Dame is going against the odds here in the 4th quarter because LSU has not given up a touchdown all year long. 2 field goals in the 4th quarter, and that is quite a defensive statistic. But Notre Dame has really been able to move the ball, and they've dominated the second half. We have actually had 2 games. LSU owned the first half except for a kickoff return. Notre Dame has owned the second.
Very similar to that Alabama game. LSU scored early, 2 touchdowns in the first half and never did anything in the second half, but their defense did enough to win it.
Got a scoreboard change for you. Iowa over Minnesota 27-24. 4th quarter. Johnson cuts it outside and is flung forward past the 15-yard line. They did him a real favor on that. Pearson grabbed him and gave him 5 yards.
Anthony Johnson made a nice cut on that play. Took the ball, it was just a lead draw. Took it, sprint draw actually. He read the hole, burst outside. And you're right, he got thrown and picked up 4 yards when he was in the air.
Supposed to throw him the other way. And it's a first down as a result at the 13-yard line. Johnson and Taylor, the running backs in the eye behind Furlong. Johnson tried to cut again and went down. Covered at the 13-yard line. Wilson was right there, wasn't going to let him get away.
When Notre Dame goes back and looks over the films this season, they're going to just be distraught because this is the area of the field they have not been able to score. Game after game, they've had the contest in their hands if they could score, but they get inside the 20-yard line, they simply can't put it in the end zone.
Usually that's a problem with passing teams who just don't have the physical strength to blow anybody out, but Notre Dame is a big physical football team.
They really haven't been able to understand it. They've tried to change it, but they just haven't been able to.
DeJuan Francisco is in there. He's got the ball in the toss, reverse to Brown. They've got this one figured out. Brown avoids 3 tackles, but that's it. And guess who got him? Toby Caston, 69. Henry Thomas, 96, was also in there. You can go to the well once too often, can't you?
Well, they had it well designed, stopped last time, too. LSU is so good, again, on their pursuit right here. And they hold their backside people, hold their positions very well. Their linebackers are disciplined. He broke 3 tackles. Did him no good at all because they still had 4 more guys coming at him.
Broke 3 tackles, still lost 8 yards, and Caston will limp off on a 3rd and 18 situation. And Ray Dumas, number 82, is into the ball game at a flanker. Brown is to the near side. He'll go in motion. Furline play fake, 4-man rush. Here they come. Wilson got him from behind. Carl Wilson with his 5th sack of the season, and he buried Furline.
Same thing against Penn State last week. Notre Dame gets in there in a position to win the game. They end up going backwards. Carl Wilson just comes in clean from the right side of your screen here. Furline never sees him. Doesn't have enough time to see him even. Just no chance. Right there. Just totally unblocked.
So they'll go for the field goal. Carney from 44 yards. He missed from 44 earlier. Hit from 31. He's got it. Carney with a clutch field goal and has Notre Dame within 1 point with 11 minutes and 34 seconds to go from Baton Rouge.
All roads lead to Sears' biggest automotive sale of the year. Save 30% on Sears' best-selling tire, the Road Handler 45 Radial. Made by Michelin and backed by Sears. Now as low as $44.99, only at Sears. And get superb performance with the Sears heavy-duty gas shock. At $9.99, its price has never been lower. But hurry, this sale is on now.
There's more for your life.
We installed confidence.
At Sears.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Volvo, a car you can believe in, and by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company for all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs.
Notre Dame chipping away at the LSU lead, and the Irish, who have been snake-bitten all year, are now within a point at 14-13 with 11:34 left to go from Baton Rouge. And Carney, who has hit 2 of 3 field goals, will kick it away. Martin and Fuller deep to receive. Martin 23, Fuller 33. And Carney really bombs this one. Martin 3 yards deep. Harvey Williams out to the 19-yard line. First time in a long time that he's been back there on kick return. That last scoring drive that resulted in a 44-yard field goal was 11 plays, only went 37 yards, though, and took 5 minutes and 22 seconds. And as Pat pointed out, every time Notre Dame seems to get near the goal line, they go back the other way. And now we have a flag down.
Like the green.
TV guide for 3 easy monthly payments of just $5.75 each.
You'll enjoy the convenience of home delivery, and you can't beat the price. What are you waiting for? Do it now, okay? Good times coming, TV Guide says, and TV Guide says call today.
800-445-4200. Toll free, 800-445-4200.
A $15,000 sail sinking in the Indian Ocean. The price to win the American...
Banner Chevrolet presents Chef Mentour's 1987 forecast.
There's a beautiful full-size Caprice Classic in the horizon. And yes, it looks like there's a Spectrum front about to go through. Woo! And there's a rear. Besides Banner low price, Spectrum has a luxurious interior. Now word from our sponsor.
For only $95 down and your good credit, you can get a Banner Chevrolet today.
I see you.
Passport Foreign Auto Parts presents Our Price is Right.
Our contestant today is a Metairie foreign car mechanic. If she can guess the price of item number 1, she will win a dream vacation.
Today's item is a quality BAP Geon starter from Passport Foreign Auto Parts.
That's easy. I just bought one from another auto parts store for $59.95.
This starter is only $41.75 at Passport Foreign Auto Parts.
Come on down. All BAP Geon replacement parts are on sale at 30% off till 1987.
Battle coach Fred Akers would love to silence some of his critics with a win. There's a lot at stake in this annual tussle. He'll rely heavily on Eric Metcalf for a few big plays if Texas is to score the upset. In Texas A&M, you have the defending Southwest Conference championships, and they would love to make a return trip to Dallas on New Year's Day. Jackie Sherrill is sure to pin his hopes with the right arm of Kevin Murray. He can run, but he can also throw, and throw well. It's Texas and Texas A&M, a special Thanksgiving night get-together on ESPN. How about this for a good day today? Kevin Murray and his A&M offense scored 74 points in a victory against TCU, the second largest margin of victory in Southwest Conference football history. Arkansas beat SMU today, so a Texas victory would put Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl if that happens on Thanksgiving Day, provided Arkansas continues to do well, because Arkansas hasn't been in the Cotton Bowl in a while, and A&M was there a year ago. Texas A&M, of course, would like to repeat with a victory next week on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, here on ESPN. We've got a good game underway. Tim Brown and Wendell Davis, two men to watch. We told you at the outset, as we look at the statistical data in this game to this point, you can see that Wendell Davis has been very productive, and so has the LSU passing game in comparison to Notre Dame, Mike and Pat.
Certainly hasn't.
And by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. For all your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs.
Notre Dame chipping away at the LSU lead, and the Irish, who have been snake-bitten all year, are now within a point at 14-13 with 11:34 left to go from Baton Rouge, and Carney, who has hit 2 or 3 field goals, will kick it away. Martin and Fuller deep to receive. Martin 23, Fuller 33. And Carney really bombs this one. Martin 3 yards deep. Williams, rather, Harvey Williams, out to the 19-yard line. First time in a long time that he's been back there on kick return. That last scoring drive that resulted in a 44-yard field goal was 11 plays, only went 37 yards, though, and took 5 minutes and 22 seconds. And as Pat pointed out, every time Notre Dame seems to get near the goal line, they go back the other way. And now we have a flag down, and it is going to be against the Irish. One of the few times you will see the kick coverage team being penalized. Well, we've got the opportunity. Want to thank our spotters, Arthur Trish and Scott Dupree, for doing a great job tonight. And Dr. Statistics, Chuck Freeby, is here, the Notre Dame graduate.
But he's giving the statistics honestly.
Personal foul against the defense. First down. All right, son.
We get the LSU stats, and they're a little crumpled. Notre Dame's are real pretty.
LSU with the ball out at its own 36-yard line. 14-13. LSU has not been able to do anything on offense.
I think they've got to go back to those early downs to play action, throw the ball.
They go back to the toss. Williams trying to get outside, and good support from the secondary. Troy Wilson came up and made the tackle along with Streeter. Let's check in with Tim Brando.
Mike and Pat, for about the last 10 to 15 minutes, Matt DeFrank has been working on receiving the snap from center and then addressing the ball. Matt DeFrank, there he is, number 3 right there, who fumbled it the last time, you might recall, but yet was still able to get it away, has been working on nothing else but receiving the deep snap the last 15 minutes. Practice makes perfect.
Probably hopes he won't need it either. Jean-Baptiste in motion, and Hodson against a 4-man rush, plenty of time over the middle of Williams. Harvey Williams with a couple of cuts gets to midfield. Tough to bring down in the open field. Wilson and Kovaleski make the tackle. That's the first down of the second half from scrimmage for LSU.
Well, Harvey Williams is quite a weapon. They just dump it over him, and he does the rest. So many moves. You get a running back out in the field like this, he is so dangerous, and he's only a freshman.
Everybody's All-American a year ago. A heated recruiting battle won by LSU. 1st and 10 from midfield. Hodson, play action, first down. Can't find anybody. Got all day to throw and still picks up 3 or 4 yards. And if Notre Dame doesn't get any more pressure, they're really in trouble. LSU tied for the lead in the Southeastern Conference. They can't do any worse than tie for first place in the Southeastern Conference. Most people in Louisiana think they already deserve to be in the Sugar Bowl, but they're not. The Sugar Bowl people say, hey, you got to beat Notre Dame before we extend an invitation. Notre Dame, of course, even with a 4-5 record still in the bowl picture, they could very well go to the Aloha Bowl if they can win their last 2. Jean-Baptiste draw, big hole, 35, 33-yard line. Kovaleski and Lawrence had to bring him down, but Jean-Baptiste has been so successful on those little delays and draws.
They set it up. They went outside a couple times. They've thrown some passes. Now they go back to Jean-Baptiste, right up the gut. Nice block by Kinchin right there on the right of your screen, takes him out. Jean-Baptiste is very good when he gets the ball, and he's able to split those defenders quickly and go north and south. Very strong.
10 carries, 56 yards tonight. So first down, LSU. Williams inside the 30 to about the 29.
Hey, you know, Mike, you talk about, you know, Notre Dame sitting here with a losing record, but they have a shot at the Aloha Bowl. And if you're from South Bend, Indiana, can you imagine how much incentive it is to get out to Hawaii in December?
Hey, we're going to do Michigan, Hawaii in December. We're pumped.
That's how ESPN got me. I was the biggest lure going out to Hawaii again.
They made a mistake. It's really Hawaii and Michigan. Ann Arbor's nice on December 6th.
Yeah, right.
Nice cool breeze off the lake. 2nd and 5, LSU. Martin is back in at running back. Baptiste in motion. Hodson to throw, pressure this time. Run for your life. And overthrows a wide open Sam Martin.
Oh, Hodson had a touchdown there. Sammy Martin is so wide open. He's mad at himself. Just overthrew it. That's a problem sometimes when you're on the run, you're throwing back across your body. Oh, there isn't anybody close to him. How disappointed would you be if you were Sammy Martin?
Oh, he thought it had to be for somebody else. That's how overthrown it was. He turned around to see who was going to catch it.
Now, Hodson was just rolling to his right, tried to throw back over his body. His momentum just pulled the ball too high and far.
He was also being chased by Man Mountain Wally Klein. 3rd and 6. Pressure again. He unloads, and what a catch! The 17-yard line. Wendell Davis with a circus grab. Holy cow!
Oh, can a receiver make a quarterback's stats look good? There they are again. They're in their zone. Oh, they're in the man-man right here. Try to pick him up, and he reads the defender and breaks outside. Hodson makes the read perfectly. Look at this catch, though.
Oh, brilliant catch. Davis, 5 for 66 yards tonight and a touchdown. That was unreal. Williams inside the 15 to about the 13. It doesn't get any better than that.
Well, the best thing about that play, really, and obviously the catch was incredible, but Tom Hodson, only a freshman, has such confidence in Wendell Davis. It was man-to-man coverage. He ran right up to the defender, saw he wasn't open, and broke outside. Hodson timed it perfectly, and the catch was the rest.
We might explain that we have been told all year long you can pronounce it either Wendell or Wendell. I've chosen Wendell, you say Wendell, potato, potato, so
no dissension up here, though.
That's it. Williams inside the 10, still on his feet to the 5-yard line. Lawrence, the free safety, had to make the tackle. but LSU has the momentum back.
One thing that was worried the LSU coaches about Harvey Williams is he runs very upward. He's very straight up, but he's very strong. I don't think they're going to try to change him. Just broke the tackles.
47 yards on 15 carries, and it's a 1st and goal, LSU. 8.5 minutes left, and Bill Arnsparger wants his team in that end zone again. Williams, and lost his footing at the 5 and went down under Troy Wilson.
Right now, I'd have to go with the play action. Either try to get outside quick with that pitch they've used well, or go with the play action on 2nd down. You don't want to. We already saw Notre Dame. They were stopped by LSU. LSU gambled. They submarined their defenders and gambled with their backers. Right now, LSU can thwart them if they can put the ball up.
Williams' touchdown runs this year have all been short. 2nd and goal from the 4. Davis in motion.
Pinchen wide open.
Pinchen, touchdown LSU. They ran Brown to that side, and when Brown goes somewhere, a lot of eyes follow him, but Hodson had a bead on Pinchen, and he drilled him. Browndyke for the point after, and it's a big point after, because it gives LSU an 8-point lead at 21-13 with 7:45 left.
Well, the most dangerous weapon inside the 5-yard line is the tight end. Little play action here. And the tight end's going to cross right across the screen. You can't see him, but you'll pick him up. There's no one close to him. Notre Dame didn't see him either. Just wide open in the end zone. And it's so easy for a tight end to get lost in that traffic because people are going both ways, and he gets lost. Quarterback finds him. Easy touchdown. Nice call, Bill.
Yes, it was. And Lou Holtz did not care for it one bit. Timeout, 7:45 left, 21-13 LSU.
The Volvo 760, the car for people whose means have changed, but whose values haven't.
All across America, companies are declaring liberty for all. A revolutionary idea from Liberty Mutual Insurance, where employees can now save on all their auto, home, and life insurance through the convenience of payroll deductions. Liberty for all. It's freedom from bills and paperwork, and it can save you money. America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance. The BYU offense is tough to beat, but San Diego State may have the defense to do it. Live Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern.
Here's the story from Baton Rouge. LSU leading Notre Dame 21-13 with 7:45 left. And they'll kick it away to Brown. One of the most dangerous players in the country. Low squib kick picked up by an up man. Back to the 40-yard line, and Notre Dame will start from there.
Here's another look at that touchdown to Brian Kinchen. They put a little motion on it, little play action pass. He drops back, and you'll see in left of your screen, Kinchen is wide open. What they did is they got the linebackers to commit to the run. They went to the play action fake, and Kinchen just snuck in the end zone. No one close to him.
I said everybody followed Brown. It was obviously Lewis because LSU had the football and not Brown. That kickoff return by Ned Bolcar. And let's see what Notre Dame can do on offense. They're down by 8 points. They'll send 3 wide receivers to the far side, and then Brown runs off the field. They tried to decoy LSU a little bit. Burline in trouble. And the sack has got to go to Caston, 69, and then Thomas pinned him. Caston was the one who tripped him up on the blitz. LSU had not had any offense at all in the second half until this drive that went 79 yards. That's 3 long drives for them tonight. And Kinchin capped it off with a 4-yard touchdown pass. And there is Berline now facing 2nd and 11. It's been a tough night for him. Pump fake. Wants to go deep for Brown, and it's picked off by Carrier.
Chris Carrier covers a lot of ground for LSU, makes a lot of tackles. He's an excellent safety. He's just going to double deep here. They're not going to let Brown get behind him. That's why that pump fake did no good whatsoever. He's just right in position to make that interception. Can only put the ball up into those double coverages so often. And he's not going to get away with it.
24th interception for LSU. They lead the Southeastern Conference. This is Martin, shook a tackler, gets out to the 30, and it was Dave Butler hanging on to his ankles, number 37. Been a tough year for Lou Holtz. He had to come into a program that had been run by somebody else for 5 years. He found himself in a position where he had 6 quarterbacks and only 3 or 4 down defensive linemen when he got here.
And they have been in every single game.
Yep.
I think he's done a wonderful job. They really are the best team in the country with the type of record they have. They could have easily been 10-9-1 right now.
I'll tell you what a good job he has done in South Bend, where they love their football and have been so critical the last 5 years. Nobody said anything bad about Lou Holtz, even with a losing record. A delay.
But I think that's part of the transition we talked about at the top of the show. I think it takes a while to get back that winning momentum. I think they're in a position now where maybe they're willing losses and other teams are willing wins, where it used to be when you play Notre Dame, that mystique would kill you at the end. Notre Dame would just believe they were going to win somehow, and the other team would say, well, they're going to beat us eventually, and it would happen. Well, now Lou Holtz has to turn it around for this program.
I think the difference is, Pat, that most teams at 4 and 5 would just like to see the season end. These guys would like to go back and start from scratch. They think they could go 10-1. 3rd and 7 with 5:40 left. Hodson, here comes the blitz. He's throwing for Davis, and he's got it. Wendell Davis beat Brandy Wells down the sideline, and another big catch for the All-American receiver. We may be seeing the 2 best receivers in the country tonight.
Oh, Tom Hodson, Wendell Davis just keep doing it week after week. You just can't believe they can keep beating defenses. This guy has been one of the top-rated receivers all year, and they cannot stop him. And part of that's due to Tom Hodson's ability to go to him. What a catch, though. Did you see that?
And Hodson trailing the play. He knew he had it on the money, and he threw it for his favorite target. Davis with 6 catches and 111 yards on the night. 1st and 10. Hodson wants to throw again. Plenty of time. Intended for McGee, and it's picked off in the end zone by Troy Wilson. Oh, that could really hurt. LSU had a chance to salt it away, and Hodson is really upset with himself.
Well, he was definitely greedy on this play. He was looking to McGee the whole way. Made an easy play for the safety. The whole way he's looking for him. Makes it an easy pick. They have 2 guys right there. Wilson just waited, took the ball.
Great play by Wilson, and Hodson, who was so elated the last time, really disappointed. I don't think he ever saw Wilson. He was looking at the man who was trailing his receiver. Andrzak comes in at quarterback for Notre Dame with 5:06 left. And they'll start from the 20. Andrzak is going to run it. Picked up 5 or 6, driven out of bounds over there. Caston chased him out of bounds, and there is a flag down. May have been a late hit.
That's when they threw it. Hit him when he was out of bounds already.
And LSU does not need to give up 15 yards like this. $15 big ones. Here's the call. Personal foul.
I think we'll be able to see 69. Toby Cass is going to hit him late here. Right there. He's clearly out of bounds. No need for that hit, and that's a good flag by the officials.
Not vicious, just not well thought out.
Well, you knock a guy into a bench. It's not just the initial hit.
First down, Notre Dame. Good field position now past their own 42. Andrzejczyk in there, play action. Time to throw, deep sideline, and it's complete to the 33-yard line, and that is Tony Eason, who missed the Penn State game with a sprained knee and comes back to make only his 3rd reception of the entire season. 20 yards that time, and Andrzejczyk had it there.
Nice throw by Andrzejczyk, and LSU is in an uncommon zone for them. They're just sitting back in their zone. He found the opening. Nice throw.
Jackson drove him out of bounds. Eason, a 6'4 junior, 194 pounds. We have 4:50 left, and the Irish trying to tie it up. They have it at the 33. No one has scored a touchdown on LSU in the 4th quarter all year long. Option, Johnson on the toss. Can't get outside. Nowhere to go. They're everywhere. They buried it. Ron Sancho, 52, the first man to him. And there is Eric Hill, 54. They just swarmed over Johnson on the out.
9 guys in on that tackle. 9 purple and gold jerseys.
And it looks like Sancho is the man down. He was the first man there. He was on the bottom of about 1,500 pounds of his teammates. Sancho is the guy who took over at that right outside linebacker spot when All-American Michael Brooks went down with a knee injury. And Hill switched to the other side. Sancho's done an excellent job for them.
I think that's quite a tribute to Bill Arnsparger's ability as a coach to replace someone like Michael Brooks, who's truly one of the top 2 or 3 defensive players in the country.
We have a timeout on the field with 4:33 left in the ball game. It's an 8-point spread.
And an official timeout. The 1946 MG. The 1957 Thunderbird. The 1987 Volvo 740 Turbo. A collector's item you can drive every day.
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
You don't want those fries.
What are you going to do, Jack? Eat your way to college?
Really? I'm going to college on the new GI Bill. You serve full-time in the armed forces or part-time in the reserves, and you earn a lot of money for tuition.
The new GI Bill.
Are you using that pickle?
Now for young men and women in the armed forces. It's a great place to start. See your local recruiter.
Live CFA football on ESPN has been brought to you by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. By Casio, maker of the shock-resistant, water-resistant G-Shock. It's one tough watch to beat. By the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by Michelob, exceptionally smooth, distinctive taste is why the night belongs to Michelob.
4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. Sancho left the field under his own power, just a little shaken up. We expect to see him back in the game. It's 2nd and 14 for Notre Dame at the LSU 37. Andrzejczyk, the quarterback. Got room to run if he wants to. Instead, he dumps it off. And his fullback inside the 25, Pernell Taylor, driven out of bounds, and Tim Brando has a report on Sancho.
It really looked as if it was going to be worse, but it was not. A jammed knee for Ron Sancho. He could return possibly on this series if needed.
Right now, I'd say he's needed.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, first one of the year.
No, that was not a punt. If you took it that way, it was a mistake.
All right.
All puns are mistakes after all, at least in judgment. 4:08 left in the game, an 8-point ball game. And LSU with Andrzejczyk at the controls, 4 out of 6, 56 yards for Notre Dame. They have a first down at the LSU 22. Under pressure, unloads, and it's complete again. This time he hit Jackson. Andrzejczyk making excellent decisions out there.
That was a nice throw. Had the guy all over him, draped all over him, just delivered the ball right in the middle of the chest.
Lou Holtz and Bill Arnsparger. couple of great college football coaches going at it here in Baton Rouge tonight with 3:51 left in the game. Notre Dame needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. They'll go on the ground with Taylor, and Taylor gets absolutely nothing. Hill and Hazard wrapped him up in a hurry. The Irish have used one of their 3 second-half timeouts with 3:38 to go. We've got a great one from Baton Rouge. Stay with us.
This is the Boardwalk Ski Team. They're good at what they do because everything they do gets you on the slopes in comfort and in style. At Boardwalk, you get pro advice, plus the right price on the hottest styles on ice. Brand names at their best. Play at Boardwalk Ski, the only total ski shop East Bank and West. The most excitement this ski season is at Boardwalk Ski, Metairie and Harvey.
Watch out. It's coming. You're about to get hit with another big heating bill.
Afraid of high fuel costs? Dave Lennox has a pulse gas furnace that could cut your winter heating bills almost in half.
Attaboy, Dave.
Christina's recommends only the highest quality products for every installation.
That's why we install high-efficiency Lennox products.
Lennox makes it easy for you to buy with no money down and low monthly payments that fit your budget. The Pulse can pay for itself before you do.
College football in a Thanksgiving tradition. Texas A&M battles Texas live Thursday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
They love it in Baton Rouge.
He must be trying to see the future with those glasses.
Monahan is in at fullback, 3rd and 2, Notre Dame. Under the blitz, Andrzejczyk for the end zone. Touchdown. The Irish have done it on the arm of Andrzejczyk. The catch made by Dwan Francisco. I knew I would say San Francisco at some time during this game.
Oh, this is a great throw. He gambled, but he put it where it had to be, either touchdown or out of bounds, and Francisco kept his feet down. I think what happened on this play, he got them both in.
Yeah, he did.
He had his right one down. He also got his left.
And Lou Holtz finally sees his team come up with pay dirt after threatening, and now they will go for 2 to tie it up.
No other decision. They have to go for 2 here.
Sure.
No question.
3:32 left. Andrzejczyk has led this comeback. Taylor and Francisco, the backs. Andrzejczyk to throw under pressure. Floats it out there and off the fingertips of Williams. I think he would have been out of bounds even if he caught it. But Williams couldn't hold it. That was the young man, unfortunately, who lost the ball last week against Notre Dame. And look at his reaction.
Well, this would have been a very difficult catch, and he's not that experienced on the sidelines. I think really what happened here was he took his eyes off the ball to see where his feet were on the field, and he short-armed it a little bit. Right there. See him short-arm it? Because he was looking down on the sidelines to make sure his feet were in. Story of the Irish season right there.
He's seen it so many times, hasn't he?
Actually, it was an excellent throw.
Bill Arnsparger watching that defense that he has built so lovingly. That was the first touchdown anybody has scored in the 4th quarter on LSU this year, but they did come back and stop the 2-point conversion. Thought Williams should have had that ball after looking at the replay.
Well, it was an excellent throw. The problem, again, is that he just wasn't ready.
Lou Holtz talking to Joel Williams.
Oh, that's terrible. Back-to-back games. He's had key plays where...
But look at the way he's encouraging that young man.
That's why he'll eventually win there. The players like him. He's tough. He's disciplined. But he loves his players. They like him.
Now, with 3:32 to go, a lot of decisions, a lot of coaching decisions to be made. You don't assume they'd go for the onside kick with that much time left, but they could. And Carney has it lined up at the 35. LSU has everybody up close. Williams is the only deep man. He's back at the 6-yard line. LSU anticipating the onside kick. And they'll kick it deep. And Williams fields it at the goal line. And they come after him and get him at the 13. Let's check in with Larry Burnett for a scoreboard update.
Mike, history made tonight in Fresno, where Fresno State's Kevin Sweeney trying to become the all-time leading passer in Division 1A. He does it. As he hits Pondre Davis, he is now thrown for 10,582 yards. He breaks Doug Flutie's old record. Pretty happy guy, as is his dad and head coach Jim Sweeney. Fresno State leading that game at halftime.
And congratulations all around for Sweeney, who finally got to Doug Flutie's record. That's a great thing to keep around for the rest of your life, the memories of that one. Now LSU will work on the clock, and not well, as crashing through was Wes Pritchett, number 34, and Harvey Williams went down hard, and he'll be slow to get up.
Notre Dame does the right thing. Right on your screen, they blitz their middle backer. Wes Pritchard just makes a big hit there, and that could have been a fumble easily. He was 4 or 5 yards in the backfield. And really what's going to hamper Notre Dame right now is they threw away 2 timeouts earlier. They only have 1 left.
Yeah.
They're within a field goal of a victory here.
Williams up. Seen a lot of guys really be shaken up tonight with some hard hits. And it was a loss on that play of 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 13.
I think you're right, though, Mike. It's a tribute to Lou Holtz that this Notre Dame team came in here with a 4-5 record and played this hard.
It really is. Clock running, approaching the 3-minute mark. They'll go to Sammy Martin on the sweep. And Martin Klein got a hold of him and brought him down. The big man listed at 274. And now we're inside the 3-minute mark. And did Notre Dame use this last time out? No, the officials have stopped the clock. And we're not sure why, although it looks like Martin was down, and now Martin is up. So the top 2 tailbacks for LSU have gone down hard on consecutive plays. Tim Brando has more from the sideline. Tim?
Mike, they're about, the LSU Tigers, perhaps a first down away from winning this game with Notre Dame. J.B. Coinson, the Sugar Bowl representative, is with me now. Is the Sugar Bowl committee prepared to offer LSU a Sugar Bowl entry if, in fact, they win this game tonight, J.B.?
No, they're not prepared. We're going to meet November the 30th to make that decision.
Let's talk a little bit now about the LSU faithful upset about this in a head-to-head situation with Alabama. It's going to be difficult to say no to them with them only 80 miles away, isn't it?
It is.
All right, how about the Alabama-Nebraska situation? Since Nebraska played LSU, doesn't in fact make it more palatable nationally if you had Alabama? Is that the reason you're waiting for the Auburn-Alabama game?
Sir. No, sir. Positively not. Positively not.
All right, JB, thank you for joining us. It is a very big game and a very big couple of minutes coming up, fellas.
And a big play for LSU as they get out of a deep hole with a dangerous pass and get the ball up to the 31-yard line for a first down.
3rd down and 10. Excellent call. Good execution, and that was a gamble to put the ball up there.
2 minutes, 42 seconds left to go. With 1 timeout left, Notre Dame is in some trouble right now, and Williams back in the ball game doesn't get much. Weisenhofer, number 36, knocked his legs out from under him. The clock running with 2:32 to go.
One thing you got to say about Bill Arnsparger of LSU, he does not step backwards. He gambled early and went for that 4th down. Here he throws the ball deep in his own territory on 3rd down. He comes to the stadium to win games. He makes the right decisions, and that's why they're going. They have a good shot at the Sugar Bowl this year.
Comes to play, doesn't he?
Sure does.
And hard to believe that if they don't win this ball game, then they're not an automatic at the Sugar Bowl. I don't understand.
Well, they beat Alabama, and they beat them good.
Yeah.
Good game, but they deserve that win. They should go to the Sugar Bowl.
If Alabama beats Auburn, that's it. They got it up to about the 36-yard line. The clock ticking away right now. And the clock is the biggest enemy for Notre Dame. There'll be another 3rd and long for LSU, and another player is down, and this is Garland Jean-Baptiste.
They've actually stopped the clock 3 times for their running backs. You hate to see guys get banged up. But LSU's running backs have actually necessitated stopping the clock due to injuries. That shows Notre Dame still hitting.
He's in obvious pain, too.
They've been hitting hard all night.
And a Notre Dame player is also down, I think. No, I'm sorry, he's already up. Guys might also be tired. They're just pounding away at each other tonight. And Lou Holtz I'm not sure what he is telling the official. Something about timeouts. John Batiste now not being able to go off under his own power. It looks like his right leg is injured. So it is a 3rd and 9 situation for LSU. The clock is restarted.
I think they'll try to go to their backs here with a quick pass. Try to pick up the first down after the catch.
Mickey Harris, number 30, is the fullback in there, along with Martin, 23. And one of the LSU interior linemen moved, and that'll cost him 5.
John Hazard, the right tackle, lifted his hand. That's all it takes.
I think Lou Holtz is really upset, possibly about the clock. But that's just a guess. And the clock will not restart, I do not believe, on this until the snap of the ball, because the 25-second clock had already run out.
This might be the time to run that read screen where they look at Davis on a quick hook and then out to Harvey Williams on his pass outside.
Notre Dame showing blitz. Now they drop out of it. And Davis with another incredible catch at the 44-yard line. It's another first down LSU. And Wendell Davis is having a career tonight.
Oh. They just run a simple out pattern, but it's not a simple catch. Wendell Davis has pulled down 2 of the best catches I've ever seen, period, all my years in football. Completely stretched out. Now, it's when usually receivers will give it up when they hit the ground. That's what made that catch special. He held onto the ball even after hitting the ground.
And that could have been it. We're down to 1:12 seconds to go. A first down LSU. Notre Dame only has 1 timeout. And one of the LSU backs moved. Got his feet back. That was Williams trying to get outside, and Williams gets to the 48-yard line. And we're at 59 seconds and counting. And Notre Dame will use its only remaining timeout to stop the clock. And look at Lou Holtz. That's the way this year has gone for Notre Dame. Timeout here in Baton Rouge. 57 seconds to go.
The Volvo 760, the car for people whose means have changed, but whose values haven't.
You were born to drum, you and Casio. The stereo keyboard comes with PCM drum sounds. The DP1 electronic drums add snare, bass, rimshot, hi-hat. Casio, be the drummer you were born to be.
If you're up at 1 o'clock tonight, we invite you to stay tuned for the Utah State-Fresno State game. You'll get to see Sweeney's record-breaking performance, and we'd also like to update you on that heavyweight fight tonight. Mike Tyson, we understand, a second-round TKO over Trevor Berbick, and thus becomes the youngest and the shortest, probably, in modern times at least, heavyweight champion of the world. But our story is football. Hodson, who has had a big night, is just going to try to take some time off the clock and gets a free shot for his trouble. Clock is running. Notre Dame can't stop it again.
That's funny. Hodson came out on fire, came out, just lit it up the first 2 drives. Didn't do anything for 2.5 quarters. Came in the last drive, drove him for a touchdown. 2 great catches by Wendell Davis, and they run out the clock.
Really have to feel sorry for Lou Holtz, who has been a winner everywhere he's gone in college football and will be a winner at Notre Dame. But this is going to seal the Irish fate First time in modern history they've ever had back-to-back losing seasons. Of course, this is the first for Lou Holtz. Hodgson. And tempers are getting a little short right now. That's going to be the last play of the ball game, and it's probably just as well for everybody so hot on the field. And LSU has won a huge game at home. Field after another heartbreaking defeat. They lose at 21-19, and Tim Brando has the winning coach again, and as usual, it's Bill Arnsparger.
Well, I know you love being on ESPN. You work the magic again in the nighttime on our network. Congratulations on a huge win.
Can you come back next week?
Bill, let's talk a little bit about the defensive strategy on the goal line stand, because that, in essence, now as you look back on it, is the key series in the game.
Well, and then we made a mistake down there in throwing the ball deep. We got greedy. I told Tommy when it come off, I said, you know, we just got a little greedy. And we didn't have to really do that, but we did it, and it, you know, made it a little closer for the fans.
But on the goal line stand, though, and the option play, they went to Timmy Brown. Did you anticipate that?
No, we just tried to play our defense. We felt like that we played well inside, and it was going to be a pass or something good outside, and so we just tried to call the defense we felt that would take care of it. I thought Mike did a good job in calling in both places, here and also down here.
Week in and week out, Bill, everyone you'd think would try very, very hard to get Wendell Davis out of your offense. Now, Wendell was as productive tonight as he has been throughout the course of this season.
What do you have? How many do you have?
I don't know how many he had. I know he had a bunch.
Had a good catch, too.
That's right. I don't have the statistical data in front of me, but what's the trick with Wendell? How does he do it?
Well, you know, I don't like to be analytical now. I like to wait another game before I do that. But Wendell just works hard. I think he's a great example of someone that works hard, has timed up with Tommy real good, and he's worked hard on his hands to catch a ball.
Tim Brown hurt you with a kickoff return at the outset, but he did not catch many passes tonight.
You know, we just thought we were better than we were, and that we could kick to him, and we learned real quick that we didn't. And we had to adjust that real quick.
Let's talk a little bit about the Sugar Bowl, because the sugar cubes are falling right now. Your fans feel that it would be an injustice if LSU didn't get the bid in terms of the head-to-head. And now, having beaten Notre Dame, you've now beaten A&M and Notre Dame out of conference. How do you feel about the Sugar Bowl?
Well, it's still up to the committee. And we just have to try to do everything on the field that we can do. And the committee has the final choice. So, you know, we really don't have a decision other than to do our job on the field, and so we have to do that, and let the committee worry about whatever they have to do.
One final question about your offense tonight, Coach. Tom Hodgson, again, a fine performance, and then they stuffed you a little bit in the second half. You didn't move it, and then you had the 79-yard drive. What did they do defensively? And Hodgson had a great drive, that 79-yarder for the winning touchdown.
Well, they were blitzing, and we just weren't blocking as well as we needed to block, and we got things together and went down and, you know, got one, which we had to, and then, of course, we made an error the next time when we went down, which, you know.
Well, congratulations to you on a great victory. You're the doctor of defense, and they played it 4 downs from inside the 2, and they didn't get in.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bill Arnsparger, the head football coach of the LSU Tigers. He has only lost 1 game on the road, and on ESPN, he is 5-0 in the last 3 years, Mike.
Tim, I'm sure he loves to see us coming, and they're holding up the sports page of one of the local papers saying Sugar Bowl, and they sure believe they deserve to be there. LSU now with a record of 8-2. They should move up in the rankings this week. They've won some big ball games this year, and Bill Arnsparger is noted as being a defensive genius, and that word is probably overdone, but he is taking a victory lap here at Tiger Stadium. And if there is a defensive genius in college football, I'd have to agree it's Bill Arnsparger.
No question. He came in here. He just took Tim Brown out of the game as far as an offensive weapon. And I don't think there's anybody you'd rather not face in a big game than Bill Arnsparger. He just has that ability. And again, though, he has the personnel and he used them properly.
Done a great job at LSU. Had to totally rebuild his offensive backfield. And our player of the game, the Hartford player of the game, an exceptional athlete by the name of Wendell Davis from LSU, who made a couple of sizzling catches tonight. 7 in all, 123 yards, and a touchdown for LSU. Our congratulations to Davis for winning tonight's Hartford player of the game. Sugar Bowl bound LSU, maybe with a big win tonight over Notre Dame, 21-19.